Howdy.
Hello.
Woot.
Welcome.
Glomps you.
Photo. Glumps. You it rar. It's like a
Rar
weird
X
dinosaur.
holds up spoon. No, holds up spork.
Yes. Oh, it's up spork. Oh god. Oh,
What up?
hello,
Um,
photo. Hey, a monster. Hey, KPBK.
yes, early stream. Megan, my spouse and my lovely stream partner is that you see sometimes is getting surgerized on Friday. Getting a hysterectomy, which is very exciting.
Yeah, these transgenders just can't stop getting surgery for fun.
Surgery, surgery.
That oh my god, that movie, like you really, I'm really glad you introduced me
I
to
forgot that
to
you hadn't
Repo.
even heard of it,
Yeah,
right?
I had heard of it. Yeah, I mostly from being on TV tropes and reading about musical tropes. I had heard about like Urinetown and like Repo. Like in my mind, those are similar musicals. I don't know if that's actually true because
Is
I
that
haven't seen Urinetown.
you're in town or
No,
p?
urine. Yeah, because you have to pay to pee in
Oh,
Urinetown.
I've
It's
never
a
heard of this.
conceit.
This is great.
Yeah, it's another like edgy capitalist critique musical where you have to pay to piss.
Pay to piss. P to P. Pay
Yeah,
to piss.
pee to pee, uh, pee on your peers. Yeah, but I haven't seen that one. But yeah, everyone, Maddie introduced me to Repo, the Genetic Opera, in
Just
probably
imagine.
2020.
Just imagine. Imagine a uh, Evanescence music video, but it's like 90 minutes or whatever, and there's sort of a plot, sort of.
Sarah Brightman is there. Paris Hilton is there.
E-
Other people.
Igor, uh,
Giles is there. Um,
who's Igor is from? Yeah, Igor. Igorr is his what is um what band was he? He's in an industrial, a really big industrial band. Is it Skinny Puppy?
is it? I don't know. I don't know this person.
I mostly only know them. Yeah, I can't find it quickly. Supported ministry. Anyway, yeah. Um, incredible stuff.
Shit's good. Yeah, some of those songs are just burned into my brain now because they are so earwormy and catchy and repetitive and they just
Yeah,
get you. And the aesthetic is so strong.
it really is like yeah, very good.
Very good. But yes. Oh yeah. Why were we talking about that? Oh yeah. Transgenders racking up surgery.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah. Yeah. I have my 1 month post-op appointment right after this today.
Oh
So
shit.
yeah. So we'll see if I'm actually allowed to do some of the things I've already been
Oh
doing.
my god. Everybody yell at Devin.
I do have a little bit of like a scar, like that I need to ask them about. I don't think it's because of me being naughty. I think it's just because my arm is like more dominant on this side. Like it's a little bit bigger over here. See what I mean? But
You
we'll
gotta
see. I
not.
think it.
You gotta not work out. Oh, they're gonna yell at you too.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll see if he yells at me. If he's like, "You've been lifting things greater than 8 pounds," which I haven't, except for maybe some groceries. Sometimes, just
Oh my.
incidental kind of things like that. Every now and then, get to a set point.
Oh.
But
How do you feel? How do you? That's the thing that we can do. You let's check in. How you still feeling great?
feeling great. Yeah, I actually do like pay attention to what range of motion is like not comfortable. I think it's more than a lot of people are at this point.
Mhm.
especially if they were told to do T-Rex arms, which I was not told to do. But there's like it feels a little more of a pull if I go like past here, like with that. So there are limits I can feel. I'm not completely just like throwing bales of hay around in the yard or anything like that. I'm using resistance bands. I'm not doing any chest workouts. I'm being very gentle, but we'll see. And but I have been, I've been going to the beach. I put the tape over it when I go to the beach. Because
Oh my god, Eric says if you do too much exercise they grow back. I heard it
I've
recently.
heard they grow
I've heard
back.
people are saying this. Some beautiful just thinking of that Trumpian like people have been saying. Beautiful people have been telling me.
Be yes, beautiful people have been saying. Oh God, I do notice like there's this trend on the subreddit, the top surgery subreddit. Everybody's got like dysphoria brain, so they'll post a picture and they'll be like, guys, did they leave some tip behind? And it'll just be like a completely
Yep.
concave surface, and people will be like, bro, no, no, you're fine,
No.
dude, you're fine.
No.
Like,
Yeah.
or just like the smallest things people. So the fact that one little bit of the scar is bigger than the rest, of course your mind goes crazy and you're like, well, it's only going to get bigger and bigger, and then it will eat me
Yeah.
otherwise it's going good.
Good. Good. But yeah, that's why we're doing today.
Yeah.
And that's why we teacher, we didn't do our homework. We don't have a lot of stuff, but we do have some stuff. Uh
That's
thank thank you, Reembodied.
Oh yeah, thank you. Thanks for Oh, and look at this cute dolphin emoji that you have.
I
Wow.
know. That's really
That's
good.
really good. Oh my god. And I didn't realize, Maddie, one of the regulars on your streams, Tilted Turtle, is like a PNG tuber
Yeah.
in their own right. Cause yeah, I saw some of their stuff. Just I think it was like you rated someone and then they rated them or something like that. And I was like, oh
Mhm.
wow, this person's got like 40 people in their stream and this cute little turtle
Yeah.
PNG. They're really
Tilted
really
Turtle
in
is
the
is
ecosystem.
is great. Can we how do you shout out? That's a thing we can do.
Oh yeah.
Shout out till if I spell it right. Titted, not titted turtle.
Pitted turtle. Oh
That's a
no.
different. No, Charlie. Oh my God.
Okay, we're
I'm
back.
trying to type and she's like
Look at
biting
this
me.
pest.
Could you see her face?
Oh my god. I just see her head in the frame. Yeah.
Stop.
It's pure pest.
knocking over my water.
Oh, oh my god. Those of you with Charles Mungus emojis can.
Oh, what? Did you see that?
What'd she do?
She took a business card. She literally
What?
she literally got up in a huff. And did you guys see that? She had a little business card in her mouth. She's
Oh
like, "Well,
my
fine, I'm
god.
taking this."
So rude.
That was really funny.
Oh
I
my
really hope that
gosh.
was on the camera.
She said, fuck you.
This is mine.
Oh
Um
my god.
but yeah, we do have some things, namely Quora. We're gonna finally, we've talked about it. I was also gonna look at Quora and bring some Quora. Quora decided no.
Yes. Yeah, so talk about that, because the
It's
site
really
seems to be
funny.
broken. Speaking of other broken social media sites.
Yeah, which we will get into. Uh basically, I do have a website. All right, not a website. Yeah, apparently I do have a login. Um but it won't let me like do the forgot password thing, and it's just like breaking. And it was like I was trying to log, like I think I have it set so it's like my Gmail, right? Like it's like a Gmail email, but I think I probably did it through like sign up with email instead of sign in using Gmail. So when I click
Right.
Gmail, usually these websites should be like, "Oh, you're already signed up with that email. Do you want to connect to them?" And then it'll let you do that. But when I try to do that, it just goes back to the page. like
Yeah.
Like here,
He's
I think I
trapped in
can.
the
I think I
labyrinth.
can show that where it'll just be like continue with. Hold on. Let me do it. Make sure it doesn't show that Gmail. I don't think it does. Oh yeah, it does. Shows my full ass name and everything. So glad I didn't press that
Oh
button.
yeah, let's not do that. Yeah, let's not do that to you again.
But yeah, like I'll hit continue with Google, and then I'll choose which Google account, and then it'll just go back to this webpage, and nothing happens. Uh,
Shh, it's
and
breaking.
then when I say forgot password, because for some reason it's not in my LastPass account. Uh, when I say forgot password and I do it, just nothing. It just is like, oopsies, we did a fucky wucky.
Yeah, we've lost all of your fucking info. This is just like when I was trying to log on to what's it called? Whatever Fortnite's like platform is.
I mean,
Epic Games.
that was because of your five
But
email accounts that you don't have
well,
the
I was
passwords for all of.
well, I was just gonna say, this what your scenario where you can't get back into your core account, it would be fixed by a little strat that I call having 5 different emails and making 9 different accounts with each of them.
It's true. I actually could do I'll teach you guys something that is amazing called 10-minute mail. Is really important to know about.
Oh,
So this is 10-minute mail, and it is literally an email account you have access to for 10 minutes.
oh my
Um,
God.
so it gives you, uh, generated password ass email, and then you can use that, and you have it just long enough to get um, the confirmation email. So yeah, actually, let's try that. Let's see if that'll
Yeah,
work.
yeah. Let's see how broken this site really is. How many layers of fucked up. And yeah, KPPK Quora is kind of like Yahoo Answers meets I don't know, like Pinterest in its like layout. It's like a place where people post questions and share weird stories as answers to those questions. But they also kind of just use the questions as like a writing prompt more than trying to help anybody. It's really weird. Um, so we'll get a flavor for it in a little bit.
Yeah, it's very Yahoo Answers, but very like in its premise is pretty much just Yahoo Answers, but the it's got a very different flavor. It's a bad flavor, but it's its own bad flavor. Uh,
Yeah, it's unique. Oh, I
um,
think somebody clipped Charo walking off
yes.
with the business card. So thank you very much for that, Squiddo.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad somebody caught that and that it was on screen. It was she was so determined with it. I don't know why she wanted
Yeah.
a business card.
Normally she's so supportive of the streams. So I'm
Yeah, she's
surprised that she was getting in the way. Maybe she thinks you're streaming too much now, all these back-to-back days.
It's true. It's really true. Um Hello Minmo. Yes, thank you very
Hello.
much for the
Oh, you want to hear more of this?
I think that should be good.
You will regret it.
Someday I will
Oh.
create an actual system for getting for getting the audio levels right. Because right now it's all by vibes.
By
Uh,
instinct.
yeah, and it's bad vibes, bad instinct. So I'll show you what's happening with Quora now. So I got this 10-minute mail. I put in a. Oh wait, no, that's why. This time it was me being dumb. I put the email in the wrong thing. Let's see if it'll actually work now. Nope, it's still the same problem.
Hmm.
Yep.
It's still just like not.
Yep.
It just
See,
cycles through.
so I've put my name in there. I've put my email, and I can't hit next. It won't let me
Oh
sign
my
up.
god. For me, for a second, I was looking at this, everyone, before the stream started, and I tried it with one of my many emails that I can no longer get into, and and the next button was grayed out, but I could still click it, and it said sent a password to that email, and then, but of course, I can't get into that email because of my life and my journey and things that are hard for me, you know. Um,
Things that have been done to me.
things that have been done to me. Like
Ugh.
I got these vaccines when I was young, and now I can't keep track of my emails, and
The
it's
real
really
cost of
difficult.
autism.
All that weed I'd be smoking, all those emails I'd be reopening.
But so I can't get into Quora. Quora has said no. Um but we can Devin can. Devin
Yeah,
it decided to let Devin do it. Do the damn
yeah.
thing.
So we can see my sick and twisted feed. And honestly, you know what? Before we went live, Maddie and I were talking about having something on the stream similar to what she had on the stream on her channel last night, which is basically using channel points to spin a wheel and hear about a war crime. This could be how we do like Quora moving forward. We could just have like points and like we just open up read a shitty Quora or something like that.
Okay. Yeah,
You
if
know.
somebody uses channel points, we have to read a shitty Quora or
Yeah.
something. I'm
Or
into that.
something in that vein. Something else cursed. Like still trying to think of what the equivalent of some of these things will be
Yeah, what would
on
you
this
guys
site,
like
but
to
yeah.
what would you guys like to be able to spend channel points or real dollars to do? Uh what would you
Yeah.
like?
Yeah, let us know like incentives that you like from other channels or like just weird segments that we can do or like things like that. Um,
Yeah.
Before we move on, I did want to highlight something It's Farrar said. People laughed at me for sticking with Mastodon, but now I'm less than 24 hours from being able to post whole to people following me through Instagram threads, and there's nothing Mark Zuckerberg can do to stop me. I need this explained to me. Are Instagram threads now in the Fediverse, or what is this? Or does Mastodon just have
Oh
its own
yes, it
version?
is. It's
It
supposedly it
is.
is. I forgot about. I kind of knew that. Yeah. So Threads is supposed to be because they started working on Threads in fucking like in January. Like the first
Mm,
time that I think basically it sounds like, not knowing anything behind, like, other than the very little I've heard about it. It sounds like the first time there was the Twitter um Exodius, Mark Zuckerberg was like, somebody start making a Twitter. Why does Facebook
mm.
not have a Twitter? Make me a Twitter. And so yeah, there's gonna be Threads. It's gonna be um
Is it going to be a separate app, or is it going to be in Instagram?
I think it's gonna be a separate app, but I don't know. It's from
Oh,
Instagram, which
threads from Instagram. Okay.
right. Um uh 1 point to mute Devin. Very good.
Very good. That would
School.
be good.
um, 1 point to ban Eric.
Yeah. Mod battle. Ban off. Mute off. Mute different words just to make things a little tricky and spicy.
Oh my
Um,
god. Um, yeah, I find the hydrate posture check redeem so demeaning. I think that Squiddo says, and I think that is fair. There is something weird about the way people like interact with Twitch streamers, but it's like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I get it if somebody's doing long streams where they're gaming and it's like a gesture of like affection or like care to be like, "Hey, have you had some water?" And they've like built it in, like they as the
Mm-hmm.
streamer decided to put that in. If I put a posture, I would never give you motherfuckers a posture check button. Um, I would kill. I would be triggered and angry. And some of you who have been following the Massage Anon saga on Tumblr know about that. Um, but
Can we
but
can
that's a whole other story.
can we get a redeem that makes your like posture check, but it's like an invert, like remember to make your posture worse.
Yeah.
Remember to
No, the box that we're in gets smaller.
Oh yeah, so you have to like, so you have
I
to
have
like,
to make myself fit
yeah.
the
So
like camera crop.
here, here, yeah.
Yeah,
We have
now
to
I
just.
have to.
there, there's Devin
This is
now,
fun.
and now I
This
have
is
to.
fine.
I do have to do it to myself.
Yeah. This is cruelty to tall people. Oh yeah.
Hi. I can't go any lower.
Oh my god. This is very good. Oh. Ooh. Yeah, shrimp's rights.
Shrimps, right?
Shrimp's rights. And like,
I
yeah.
do.
My
I I do want I do want things that shit actively change the way the fucking shit looks because I there is technology to do that. Like we could put a button that just crops us in some stupid way like
Yeah, I think it would be nice to just have little challenges um, of things to endure. Like somebody said, similar to the camera views on a Japanese game show. Yeah,
oh
exactly.
yeah,
New body. Yeah.
that is a thing I've seen people do where they can press a button or and it just goes. And I kind of do that on my streams sometimes but I'll just do it like more where I'll just like
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely have seen a lot of like furry like VTubers have like a zoom in kind of thing or
Yeah.
like
Spoonie has
yeah,
that.
yeah. Generate a random background GIF. Yeah, that would be very strong. Or like some of those like, I don't know, little fruits falling that we have to eat. I don't know. Fun
Just a
things like
mini
that.
game for us.
It's just a mini game. And that'll be really good and appropriate when we're talking about like really serious shit, which we do half the time.
Yeah.
But that's already what the issue with Twitch in general is people having just like a really weird sense of decorum, but
Yeah.
it's fine. Fuck it. We're celebrating war crimes yesterday, so fuck
Charl
it.
alert. Uh yeah, people don't I we've mentioned it a couple times. The VOD for that is probably really funny. Yesterday for 4th of July, me and Megan played a game called Chaos Wolf Metal Wolf Chaos XD, which is a game from like 2004 where you're the president and your vice president does a coup and you have to kill all of the US military with your mech. It's very
Mm.
good. And then we also, whenever anyone donated, we read off a war crime from the American War Crimes Wiki to
And
learn.
fireworks went off on the screen, and it was very good.
Yeah. So yeah, that VOD is up. It was very funny. Um. Oh my God,
Um,
Jenna, formerly of Polygon, has a redeem where she has to put on mirrored sunglasses, and the camera zooms in, so everybody has to watch the game she's playing in the reflection of her sunglasses.
that is so good. I
That's
love that.
She also
Uh,
had a redeem where she had to take her glasses off, so she
oh my
just couldn't see.
god. I've definitely seen ones where streamers like shit gets on their screen so they can't see what's happening. Or
Mm-hmm.
was that even for one of Spoonie's like Mario Party things, I think. That's definitely been
Maybe.
a thing too.
Yeah.
Um, I'm also now again my mind's going to Chatterbait and just the different things people have, you know, the
Yeah.
devices that run based on people's donations on there, like, or there are streamers on here too where it's like the lights behind them change in their house or like there's advanced shit people do and it's
Mm-hmm.
very amazing.
We can control your Velcro curtains.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, they're already always falling off, but
Were the Velcro curtains bad? Did they not work?
no, I highly recommend them. Honestly, for the bang for the buck, even, I mean, you can see one of them's kind of fallen off. Well, you can't quite see it with the crop, but one of them's fallen off a little bit right now. Some of them I have to restick from time to time, but it's a rental, baby. For like less than $100, I was able to add some color to this room and block out the lights, and I didn't have to drill anything. I
Yep.
highly recommend that bullshit. So, anyway. Eric said, "Can't believe you weren't in Pittsburgh for Furry Fest this weekend." Oh my God, Anthrocon
Can we?
broke a new record.
Oh, okay, but by three, by three attendees, I learned.
Oh my God, we're coming for them. We're coming for their asses. Furfest is gonna take the crown. This is like I'm filming a promo for like a wrestling show, but like Anthrocon, you're the inferior Rust Belt city. We're gonna get your
Whoa.
ass. Yeah.
um, but
But yes,
yeah,
I will go there next year.
it would be fun. I think we need to fucking pull up pictures of the puppet. I this there,
Yes.
there
I
isn't
love
any.
him.
This can be a freak of the week.
Yeah,
Um
honorary freak of the week. This puppet from Anthrocon. It's really inspiring to me.
um uh I wonder
I
if there.
retweeted a bunch of good shit of him.
Oh
Uh,
yeah,
hi-
can you just pull up some good
yeah, I can pull
videos?
it up. Yeah, because there's ones with him with Fiona, who, you know, my friend and all our friend Fiona, the big titty horsey. Okay, I can screen share. Um, oh my god, whoop. Okay.
Well, hold on just a second. Where did? Oh no. Did I do it
What?
again? No, I didn't. Okay, good.
I think I hear an echo. Yeah,
Yeah,
I hear an echo of myself. Is that's
the audio inputs changed. So this we've changed um the way we do video calls, and it's very good except for randomly when it decides to change the audio settings without me doing anything.
really
Um
good technology.
yeah. The everything else about it is amazing. All right. I have to 1 second. Let me surgerize. Surgerize things.
Okay.
Uh um
5 OBS surgery.
yes. Should have done this ahead of time, but I didn't. So now you get to see it. Ah!
You know, it's good. It's cool.
Um. Oh yes. Okay. No, it is working. You're just looking at this.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm just
Okay.
looking at myself in the thing, so it's trippy over there. But now I'm on the window. But yes, Mimo, I'm totally down to go to Anthrocon next year. But first, we have to beat the record at Furfest, and we can contribute to both. That way, we can always be winners.
So yeah, we can see your screen now.
Okay, beautiful. Okay, so here is the puppet. This beautiful little dancing fox.
He's so good.
Absolutely a sweet boy. And this really was inspiring for me to see as somebody who's gone back and forth on like, do I want to get a fursuit? Do I really want to ball out that hard at this time? Or will I still just feel insecure because it's still my own body interfacing with the world? But puppets, everybody loves a puppet. And it's so fun to direct the attention away from yourself with a puppet. Here's another one. Let me mute that music. This is Fiona, for those of you who don't know, holding the
Oh,
Captain America shield.
that's so
Fiona, she was
good.
at Pride here in Chicago. She's at Furfest always. She and I did an event on YouTube Live recently, and we're on a panel together. She's a queen, so seeing these two together is just two great tastes.
Um, and also I
They go
saw
great
that
together.
the person who created and was operating the puppet had someone pass during by suicide during fucking Anthrocon last year. So
Oh wow.
so they were like it was meant so much to me that everybody loved the puppet so much.
Oh
Also,
yeah.
we can't hear any of your desktop audio because I forgot we have to do a thing
Okay.
for you.
So that's good. So then I
Yeah,
don't have to worry about.
don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. This one's very good. You can see how this could really help you get over trauma.
Yeah.
Extremely good.
Ugh.
Extremely good shit.
Yep.
And there he is again, just on the dance floor,
Twerking.
working. Everybody just hyping him up.
I saw this specific clip I saw on Reddit on our what the fuck. And I was like, what the fuck? Why would you post this in our one?
Joyless.
Yeah, but it was hilarious because literally every comment was like, yeah, why is this what the fuck? This is beautiful. We love this. We stan.
Yeah. Even if you are like unenlightened and you think furries are like creepy or inherently sexual or something, is that's not that, right? Like so
Right.
it's a bunch of people dancing with a puppet. How is this not like everybody's reaction here is the natural reaction, right?
Yeah,
Like this is the
that kicks
most normal
ass.
thing. This kicks ass, this rules. Why wouldn't you want to be here? Like if you're so like just numb inside or like so afraid of how you're going to be perceived that you can't enjoy that, then you're wild for that one. Um Eric mentioned another video from this Fur Fest of a wedding, and I actually do have that, so I can pull that up on TikTok real quick too.
Here, I'll go over to the
Um,
just me and you for a second while you pull that up.
okay, yeah, I was just gonna fully open up my text messages on screen. I don't care. Okay, I got it ready now. It's
All
just
right.
like sure you can see everyone that I've been texting. Okay, okay, and again I'm just gonna turn this off even though you guys can't hear it. So, oop, there's this wedding. And then there's the furries above.
Yes. Oh,
So
so
cute.
fucking good.
So good. So strong. Um,
Yeah, so
yeah.
that's a freak of the week. Anything can be a freak of the week. I've been meaning to say a photo sent me a video of a very good machine. I guess let me just pull that up since I'm talking about it because I love the idea that
Sure.
like anything can be a freak of the week. Um
Yes.
and uh photo sent me Photopilot, who's in the chat right now, I should say. Um Sent me a beautiful machine. Let me see if I can go back in our messages and actually find it.
Oh, Nev, that's such a bummer. I was accepted into Vancouver Film School for soft puppetry and animatronics, but my mom pulled out on co-signing my loan at the last minute.
What
Oh,
the
man.
fuck?
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. That seems like such a cool program. And I know you do like taxidermy and stuff, so I'm sure it's a lot of like and painting like minifigs and things like that. So that seems like that would be such a nice intersection of all those skills.
Yeah, that's fucking
Really
garbage.
sucks. Yeah. Not that
Um
person's biggest fan.
so this is a machine extruding corrugated plastic pipe. Look at that shit.
Oh. Oh, is this horny for some of y'all?
I mean,
And
it's kind of horny for me. I mean, it's like it's not actually horny, but it's so satisfying that it might as well be for me. Like,
it's suggestive. It's
right?
definitely suggestive. Put me in,
Uh,
boss.
it looks like an angel. Like it looks like this is like in a JRPG where you have to fight the giant machine. That's like that's a like god analog that it's just the metaphor for god that you're fighting. Like this is what it looks like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's just pushing that shit out. It's yeah. It's very much like an erection coming out of the foreskin or something like that.
Yeah.
But endlessly.
That's what Robosona's dicks look like.
Mm-hmm.
Here, let's see if we can find any other videos of this thing. See, it's just I don't know if this is. I can look through these. No, these comments are not any good. Let's see if we can find any more videos. Oh, here. Sorry. Important.
Oh
That
yes,
that was the
Freak
freak of the
2.
week.
That was absolutely a freak of the week.
So this looks like a different animal in the same phylum, maybe.
Ooh.
Okay, that's sexy. That fucking control panel.
Oh really? This era of like
Oh,
1970s ass electronics.
look at that shit. Oh yeah, see, this is the same kind of thing. It's just much smaller.
Oh. Yeah, that's less sexy to me.
It is, but it's still satisfying.
Yeah, it's still doing its job, and its job is incomprehensible. And
Yeah, see,
you
it's
know,
the
there's
same idea. It's just much smaller. That is a
just
horrible noise.
pushing that thing along. I think bigger is sexier for machines, for sure.
Yep.
The more they're just like unfathomably huge and destructive, but slow moving. That's hot.
Yeah.
I was trying to look up the name of the Fox Puppet account. I know I'm following them now. I just wanted to make sure to give them a
Oh
shout out.
yeah,
The
absolutely.
Hearth Fox at the Hearth Fox, so like hearth and home or whatever. So
Yeah, put
give
that
them
in the
a
that
follow.
link in the
Yeah,
chat if you can.
yeah, I will.
I think bigger is sexier, but I also think smaller is sexier is the thing. Just sizes. Sizes are sexy.
Sizes. When things are sizes.
When things are sized.
Like yeah, just excited by anything of size. There we go. There's the link. How It's Made TV show to Robosexual Pipeline. Listen.
Yeah.
Listen. I would just watch How It's Made just transfixed for hours and Unwrapped, which is the how it's made for candies.
Oh, that's cool.
That show fucking slapped. That one wasn't sexy as much as just delicious and cute. But again,
Mm-hmm.
sized. Things were small sized.
Sized.
Yes.
um.
But yes.
Oh yeah, it does seem like the kind of puppet that would also like extraordinary dancing in front of a flickering fire. Um. Oh yeah, for Hearth. That actually reminds me of a friend. Oh man, am I going to be able to find it? What is the other? This is what I looked like when I was a baby puppet. Oh
I don't know
man.
that.
Ah, how am I gonna find that? Because I don't. It's Spanish or Portuguese. It's a Spanish or Portuguese Twitter account. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? It's an
So it's a
ext-
puppet.
It's an extremely good puppet. Yeah. Um. Yeah, the TikTok craze one. I follow. They post
Mm.
on like this is what I looked like as a baby was like. That was like the meme that people like that it blew up for. Um.
Mm.
Yeah, I have no idea how I can find it in my because it's got like a Spanish or Portuguese language name.
Uh, yeah, I just searched for puppet TikTok puppet on Twitter, and I got some Five Nights at Freddy's videos. So I'm glad that's still in circulation.
But yeah, if I'll find it and bring it at a different time, and that'll be another freak of the week. But I want the furry puppet and that puppet to meet, because they're both very good and they're the same size, and I want them to meet and kiss maybe.
Yes, kiss and be friends and
Mm-hmm.
dance and hold and is hold.
Uh,
Um,
make out sloppy style.
yes. So do we want to talk about social media shit first, or do we want to dive into reading Quoras? How do we feel? What do we want to do?
Let's do chorus. Let's do chorus at
Okay.
first, I think.
Okay. I was trying to pull up the first one that I sent you a screen cap of. Let me. Um, I'll just pull up a couple of these screen caps from Quora first before we really dive in, just to give you guys a flavor.
I think your screen share ended.
Oh,
I
I
don't know if.
know.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, good.
Yeah. Um, I'm just setting it up
Yep.
because if I kept the screen share on, then I was just seeing my own screen share in the window, and it was scary.
It was a nightmare. Yeah.
I was frightened. There was one about autism that I know that I screen capped that was fucking funny, but I might have lost it. But it was very much like, how do we know autistics are humans or something like that? But okay, I'll start screen sharing again.
I love the puppet and the concept, but have mixed feelings of parents showing the video of it to their kids and telling the kids the puppet is actually them. Was that actually the craze? Were they actually showing little children videos of the puppet and being like, this was really what I looked like?
What?
Lying to your
That's
children viral crazes is always weird to me.
very creepy. But is it that realistic that the kids could believe it? Like it looks like a person?
No, it was a little puppet. So they'd have to be very
Yeah,
small.
yeah.
It
I
reminds me of
feel
that.
like.
What was that Jimmy Kimmel one where it was like, "Oh, I ate all your candy. I'm sorry." That
Oh, well, yeah. Except then Agnes Caller just did it for real.
yeah.
Oh.
Okay, got you. We
Okay.
got you on screen.
Okay, so this is just one. I don't have this one pulled up anymore. I don't think we need to see it. But why do airlines force their passengers to wear a seatbelt? What if she/he doesn't care about their personal safety? Wouldn't it be choice to risk their lives?
Wouldn't it be? It would be choice.
Wouldn't it be choice? Wouldn't it be their choice? Okay, this is actually written more coherently than than an average Quora post. So
Oh, okay, yeah, it
on my
does.
way.
It would be choice. Yeah, no.
It would be
What?
choice.
Wouldn't it be their choice? I mean, you're not wrong.
Why are they thinking about this? Why are they bothered by this? That's like half the Quora questions.
Oh,
Uh, are like, why were you thinking about this? Um, and somebody actually did answer this one. I did click through and look at it, and the answer was like, well, your freedom over your own body ends when you could be smacking around into other people and killing them during a crash, and that's
right.
true.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like a reasonable one. And then we
Because
get ones like this.
there are reasonable
Oh, sorry.
answers sometimes, right? Which is the weird thing to me.
Oh yeah. It's such a mix of like there are people who have like a million Quora points and are just so earnest and they can be either really good or just like the strangest, most warped bullshitters in the world, and you just don't know what you're gonna get. So here's another prompt that just the way it's written is so funny to me. Can you show me some examples that shows humanity is still alive?
What does that
What
mean?
what does that mean? Like, and then somebody shared some stupid, mom meme about a biker gang that breaks up dog fighting rings.
Yeah.
This
I mean, that's not necessarily more alive than anything else.
right. I don't. I guess. Can you show me examples that shows humanity is still alive? Means that people have their humanity still, right?
Right.
I guess is what they mean, and I guess that normally means like compassion and sensitivity and things like that. Um, and then there's these fucking stories. Oh boy. Okay, this one. This is again an answer to the question, can you show me some examples that shows humanity is still alive? A 6'5" intimidating man started acting unpredictably on the SkyTrain in British Columbia in the spring of 2016. A 70-something lady then reached out her hand and gripped it tightly. He began to relax, eventually sitting on the floor of the SkyTrain, tears in his eyes. And I'm not going to show people's. I mean, I don't know if these pictures are real or not, But the story ends with like he got off the train calmly and said, "Thank you, Grandma," and that's it.
This really is, yeah. KPPK. Wow, Quora is like all those clickbait ads that make no sense. Yes, it's like the one the sickos talked
Yes,
about, where it's like the woman was pregnant and the horse wouldn't stop hugging him, and when the
yes,
vet realized why, he called the police.
yes. It's literally that stuff. Except, and that's why I'm always so disappointed by the Tumblr ads because I want to read the story about why your father-in-law telling you to take a shower means you should run. But
What does that
I mean,
mean?
it is a weird thing for him to say, but like, what's the nefarious underpinning to it? I don't know.
And
But
then it's just
but you can
like, buy this MLM and it'll make your dick bigger or whatever.
right. But this most of the time nobody's selling anything on this website. But okay, but take a look at this. That thing that I just read about the guy getting held, somebody holding his hand and making him not be agitated on the train anymore and saying thanks, Grandma. 4.9 million views,
Oh my god.
44,000 upvotes, 444 shares, 964 comments.
What are these comments? Let's dive into these comments. I gotta know.
Oh,
Uh,
it's Facebook hours. It's being seen. It's like having your existence validated, even for a moment. Okay, true.
yeah.
Sure.
See, these have
Um,
these have upvotes, so they actually are like so they're like actually sorted. So we'd have there
right.
this website needs like Reddit's sort by controversial.
Oh my God. Yes. Yeah, that would be good to see. Loneliness kills. Reaching out to someone should not be a rare gesture. Yeah, these are all pretty normal reactions to that kind of like softly heartwarming, but only if you're not thinking about like homelessness and mental health in like a greater scale. But like, but also sure, it's a nice human moment, whatever. If it was
Right.
true, but also, who's writing this? Where did this come from?
Yeah.
Is any of this true? Um, okay, this is another answer to that same question. Um, and I see autism spectrum, so I don't know what we're about to get here. just to be clear. But again, examples that shows humanity is still alive. Oh, I have to become a subscriber for 42 cents a month.
What the fuck? So you have to unlock. What are you
Oh my
subscribing
god.
to? That person?
I'm sub- I'm subscribing to Life is Beautiful, which is like a Quora page. So it's kind of almost like a Substack model or something. Um, but they only charge 42 cents a month.
I mean, if it was unhinged enough, 42
It was
cents.
unhinged. I mean, yeah. All the glurge in the world for just 42 cents. Let's see how this story starts out. A new colleague of mine is on the autism spectrum. They get overwhelmed by loud noises, freeze up, and collapse. They can stay down for quite some time, 2 hours in one instance, but usually 30 minutes or so. Okay, so like they're in a shutdown or something like that for 2 hours, up to 2 hours. Recently, they were walking past some workmen who were erecting scaffolding. Two of the poles knocked together and clanged. My colleague collapsed on the spot. Okay, yeah, and then when one of the workmen ran up, and we'll have to pay 42 cents a month to find out what happens next.
There's some kind of joke about erecting and poles knocking together, but I'll leave that one. You guys can figure that one out on your own.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if this just became like porn from there on out. The workman said, "I'm so sorry about knocking together these hard poles and being so loud. Can I fuck you about it? Can I fuck you out of an autistic shutdown?
What? I
Would
mean,
that be good for you?
oh my
You can
god.
try."
Uh,
Uh, Eric said, "How can I humanely put them down?" Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, that could have been
I
could have
think
been
that's
that.
probably what happened.
Let's see. When you go out into the world, smile at every soul you see and treat them with kindness. Spread love and joy wherever you go, and you shall see the answer everywhere you look. Real,
Real.
real. Again, somebody wading through water with a basket of kittens.
Mm-hmm.
That shows you that humanity is alive. Long stories of people
Yeah, this is just
needing to find
it's so
car
weird the
mechanics.
way that like if you post good enough, you can make money off of it. That is very strange to me, and it makes sense why their core is the way it is. It's like if you could make money off of like Facebook comments. Like
Yes. Yeah. Like people have monetized their Instagrams, people have monetized their Twitter. Well, they tried. That didn't really work. A tweet
yeah.
is kind of too short to get money from. Um
But
oh
it's
good. Okay. Morgan Freeman saving the bees.
what is this
Concerned about our loss of bees. What's that?
what is this picture of?
It doesn't really like what emotion is he trying to evoke here? I'm not the best at interpreting these things, but
Sexy? Like
it's like kind of tough and sexy.
yeah.
It's like, but it's also like when fucking like Ruby Rose like is like in like a boxing themed photo shoot, you know, she'll like do
Oh
something
yeah.
like that. So that's what I'm getting. Concerned about our loss of bees, Morgan Freeman converted his 124-acre Mississippi ranch into a bee refuge. He's hired a gardener, filled acres with clover, planted hundreds of flowering trees, purchased 26 hives, and has turned himself into a bee. He's turned himself into a beekeeper.
He took the beekeeper potion.
Yeah, Morgan Freeman, beekeeper TF uh,
Yeah, exactly. He,
scenario.
he drank the bee slime. The
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and this year I love the ones that are just no attempt to even put it in a real world context of like place and specificity. An old man was going for a walk when he noticed a little boy feeding a thin, shaggy looking dog with bits of bread. He went up to the boy and asked him why he was sharing his bread with the dogs. The little boy answered, because they have nothing, no home, no family, and if I don't feed them, they will die. But there are homeless dogs everywhere, the old man replied, so your efforts don't really make a difference. The little boy looked at the dog and stroked him, but for this little dog, it makes all the difference in the world.
that one, and I love that it's via 9gag. The photo, is the photo via 9gag, or is the like is this just a short story they
This
wrote about
whole
this
post.
photo?
Yeah, or was this on 9gag completely like this
Right.
with the story and it's just been like regurgitated a million times? Unclear.
Oh.
Let me see what else Life is Beautiful has to offer us. All my answers on life, general rants are here.
For 42 cents a month.
2.8 million followers.
So what is that? Is this one 2.8 million times what was it? 42 cents?
Yeah. 0.42.
Uh 1,176,000. Is that right?
Maybe
No.
100,000 or but it
Yeah,
also
cuz they're
says
getting
oh
half
wait.
a that doesn't the
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. But here's the thing that I've just noticed: 10 subscribers.
Okay. They're making
so
$5 a
so
month off this.
so now that is a dismal rate of return, I have to
Oh.
say. I mean, the follower to subscriber ratio is never good, but damn, damn, life is beautiful.
For a second there, I thought they were making $1 million a month off this stupid fucking Quora page, and I was like, that can't be right. There's something I'm doing the math wrong or something.
Like, who are all these people? It's like when you find out that there's like there's a million there's like 22 million millionaires in the United States. It's like, wait, what?
A
What
million
are
ain't
all
shit
these?
anymore, though. To be fair.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's true, but that's still, you know, like, well, and but some of those people could be giving this person 42 cents. I guess they wouldn't mind.
42 cents to them is 42 cents.
Right. But to him, it's a million.
To that one little dog. It's the whole
Yes.
world. That dog didn't even look
Exactly.
thin. It looked fine.
No, yeah, it was just a dog that had probably been trained to eat a sandwich for who knows what reason.
For likes for 10 42 for $5 a month for from 10 people.
For that good 9 gag clout. Yes. Let's see what else this guy is posting. Somebody lending him a bike lock, or oh no, somebody found his bike. Great.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Good. I'm glad, people are nice, Oh yeah, he's resharing a lot of stuff from the page Good Vibes, which I think are probably very similar kinds of stories. Um,
I
you
love that
know.
this is that's just like a stock photo of like you can't even pretend that it's a real photo from this story because that's clearly like a stock photo of a bus. Like,
Hmm.
uh
Yeah, it's like, who is this narrator? He obviously couldn't procure a photo of his own bus or chose not to. But it's also just like very much in the style of like old chain emails,
yes.
which nobody was bringing that kind of scrutiny to those, right? Like nobody was expecting a chain email to be grounded in fact, yet also like your grandpa who shared it with you, he seemed to think it was real,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
there was
uh,
some disjoint there. Oh, basically the kid on the bus was concerned about his elderly neighbor, and so he convinced 7 other children on the bus to bring blankets, food, and cards for the elderly woman. Again, lots of the very feel good people helping other people in a micro way.
mhm.
Uh, that's the Life is Beautiful brand that is pulling in $4.20
It's just like
a
it's like
month.
what is the I forget where this is if it was a tweet or something where it's like oh heartwarming. Uh 12-year-old child works in the factory for 100 days to save his friend from the autism or from the fucking orphan squishing factory. Like he like works
Yes.
and it's like why is the orphan squishing factory alive? Why is that a thing? Why is this
Right.
heartwarming that we have to save him, that the child had to do labor to you know
Right. And it's like, sure, it's great people take care of each other, but it's like presented as like a news article, but without any actual like reporting, and it's also fake, and somebody just made it up. So it's not even an
right,
actual nice thing somebody did for anybody.
right.
Mm. KPPK said, to be honest, if there's a channel that's all cat vids, I'd probably be hooked.
Yeah, but I feel like that's better. Like, and especially
Yeah.
cat videos, it's like, oh well, this like I feel like I don't know, there feels it feels weird when it's this worse when it's this like you're actually doing propaganda, but
Mm-hmm.
you're not even thinking about it because you don't care, right? Like you don't care
Mm-hmm.
what this is actually how this is changing people's opinions about society and how things work and all that shit. Where it's like a cat video is just a fucking cat video. Like it's just a cute
Right.
cat. It's not propagandizing you.
Right. And there's nothing wrong within, reasonable bounds to like want to just feel good and escape the things that make you feel bad.
Right.
That doesn't have to be propaganda. Is it sometimes used for nefarious purposes? Of course, but it's like a very natural human self regulation thing to do. It's great, whatever. But like, yeah, these people are like writing heartwarming stories, where like all of the good in the world hinges on just one individual doing something nice that will briefly uh, treat a symptom in somebody's life. Like it'll make them a little bit less lonely or a little bit less hungry for a second
Right.
without thinking about what's going to happen to them the next day. Because it's more about like the moral purification of the person doing the thing
Mm-hmm.
than the person in that situation that needs help. And
Yeah.
so that's why it's like proof that humanity's still alive. Like people, oh yeah, see, people still feel compassion, and it's like, well, yeah, of course.
Yeah, these stories are never from the perspective of the person getting help because if you actually wrote that story, it'd be like, "Oh yeah, like that it was really nice to get a hot meal that day." But also,
Mm-hmm.
I still, still like am in a terrible situation, still am unhoused and the police still came and, um like tore down all of the tents in the place I was living in and took all of my shit. Like,
Right. Yeah, it would not be like this big, the event means more to the person doing the thing than the person on the receiving end of like a brief kindness. Even though it's like, yeah, do that stuff, but people who are actually doing that stuff do that stuff, and you don't put that on social media, obviously,
right.
in real life if you're actually doing that stuff. But instead, it's also all fake. Somebody just writes like an old man decided one day to give someone a nickel. Okay, cool, great. Oh, okay. Here's another prompt from Quora. Have you ever had a neighbor call the police on you? Yes, because of this. I invited friends to come to my house party and asked my friend to bring the item above. This in this image. My neighbor saw my friend carrying the item and immediately called the police. Police came and asked what we were doing. I said we didn't do anything. We were partying with donuts. Of course.
This is so obviously like they bought that and they're like, oh my god, what if somebody thought this was drugs? I'm gonna write this bad short story about how someone thought this was drugs.
Yes, absolutely. Because like who is just like cartoonishly just carrying around a giant bag of powdered sugar? Like in what world does somebody see that and think that's drugs? I'm gonna call the police.
Yeah.
Somebody carried a drugs into their house.
Oh my god, the fucking donut, the reveal. It was powdered sugar.
We were partying with donuts. Don't worry.
With
It's
donuts
just a
is really
silly
good.
time. It's a very good phrase. Partying with donuts. Everybody does it. Oh,
Oh,
and yeah, it's again, it's very like, oh, we don't have to worry about police intervening in people's lives or neighbors weaponizing the cops against each other because it was just a silly misunderstanding and it did look like drugs, but it's just powdered sugar.
yep.
We're just partying with donuts. 3.8 million views.
Oh. See, the thing that worries me is all of these people are going to be out of work when because AI is just going to be writing this shit. Because it's like
Oh
this
my
is the
god.
kind of thing that AI can write really well is bullshit.
Holy shit. Now I want to ask ChatGPT to write a Quora post.
Oh, it'd be perfect at it, and it probably
Yeah.
and especially because they've probably actually scraped all of Quora. Like that's that
Oh
that's
my
what's
god.
powering
Hold on.
ChatGPT.
Oh my god. I'm gonna ask it right now. Do I have a login? We'll come back to this in a
I
second.
think ChatGPT would probably do a better job.
Yeah. I'm curious. Let's get ChatGPT to write a Quora post. Okay, well, let me see if I have a login. Can you unshare me for a
Yeah,
second?
yeah, I did.
Okay, great. I feel like I have done this, or I can use Google Bard. I know I have a Google Bard account because I asked them to write something. This is because of Eric, 6 word story in the comments in the chat. Uh, he asked ChatGPT to write something in the style of himself as a
Yes.
published writer, and it sucked and it gave him a crisis. Um, and so then I asked Google Bard to write something in the style of Devin Price, and it was like everybody needs to take more breaks to improve their productivity.
Oh man, yeah, that makes perfect sense because it's like all of those shitty articles that get written about your book. Like it's not based on your book. It's based off of all of those shitty articles that are like in Business Insider that is like laziness doesn't exist and so that's why you should get off the couch and work more. Like
Hmm. Half the motherfuckers who interviewed me about that book, no matter what I actually said, they, retooled it into something like that. Um,
I will
okay,
never
I
I
have.
will I will never stop thinking about when you said that you were like before an interview started somebody was like you're like, well, it's because capitalism, and they were like, oh yeah, I mean that's true, but we can't say that on air. We're not allowed to say that on air.
Okay, I can say the full tea on that. It was on BBC. It was BBC Radio, and it was an interview about like where they were covering this like incredibly overworked nurse to kind of talk about just just the massive turnover that we're seeing in medical care and just burnout nurses in their shifts. But they were profiling one specific woman who felt like she was lazy because she wasn't picking up extra shifts anymore and shit like that. Um, and so the interviewer is just saying, like, like, let's just talk about this woman's case as an example for talking about some of these broader issues. And he's like, why do people feel this need to do this? The interviewer is asking me this, like, why would somebody who's doing this important life saving work somehow think that like not working every day of the week somehow makes them a bad person? And I know that it's capitalism. And Caroline, you're going to be mad at me for saying that, and I guess we're going to have to cut this out. Blah blah blah. And then she like laughs, and he laughs, and I'm like, well, fuck. Okay, if it's that.
Literally, why? I don't understand. Why are we not allowed to? Is it that like I can't.
I think it would be seen as editorializing as a journalist, that's not like a simple fact. It's like an opinion,
Right.
to have like an interpretation of why things happen, which is part of why journalism is so bad today. Like they can only look at things in isolation and
Right.
never derive greater meaning from them,
Right. We have
which
to
is like the
we
problem. Yeah.
we have to take people we have to take the fucking Republicans at their word that they, care about family and not that they clearly are fascist. Like we can't make that
Hmm.
leap because that's an opinion.
Right. And if a CEO of a company says he's worried about a loss to productivity because people are working from home, even though all the scientific data shows the exact opposite, that people are more productive when they work from home, to whatever extent we give a shit about that. Like, most journalists will not bring those two things up. They'll just say, well, this is what this person said, this is what this person believes. Um, and noticing how often that disjoint happens, they'll never like editorialize. Oh, there seems to be a big problem here. Like that's for the op-ed column
Right.
potentially, if that. But usually, most of the op-ed people are really conservative reactionaries too. So,
Right, because they also have to
which,
have that same impartiality as quote unquote impartiality in who they invite. But that impartiality is dictated just by the what is it, the Overton window that continually is being
mm-hmm.
pushed to the right, where it's like, well, yeah, but what does this transphobe think? Whereas we literally with trans rights specifically, being trans is seen as making you biased, like,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, it's it's really fucked up.
Yeah, and the same thing with anti-vax as a movement. Part of why it became as big and legitimized as it did was because the media legitimized it and platformed it by saying you
Right,
need to hear both sides of this issue. Um, and there could have been a way to talk about there are parents groups that are concerned about this, and this is a growing phenomenon, a growing social phenomenon that you could have reported on. You
right,
can report on social phenomenon without saying, here's the two sides of the debate, and they're both equally valid.
right.
And it's just such a huge problem in science reporting and any any talk of like any kind of social issue. It's
I mean, I think that's what got. I firmly believe that that's what got Trump elected. Trump was. I don't know. Maybe some people might think this is a hot take, but I think fucking CNN put Trump in the White House. Like, yes, Fox News was the one that was perpetuating all the fucking lies about like that have gotten us to the place that we are in, but it was like places like CNN and MSNBC and the New York Times that refused to like not, that put those, people like Donald Trump on that both sides fucking pedestal of like,
Hmm.
okay, but we have to report on him as a, you know, like legitimate voice, and not to mention the fact that like him specifically are so great for views, so it's like they kept putting him on, um
Yeah.
and they're still fucking doing it. I mean, look at when the indictment happened, not the current one, but the first indictment, the like sexual assault indictment, and they fucking and CNN fucking put him on in a just put him on air without pushback, and filled and had a
Hmm.
bunch, like a room filled with fucking alt-right people because that's who came out to see him. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, there was like this short window following January 6th where at least a lot of social
yes,
media platforms and news outlets were saying, "Wow, we can't platform things that are going to have real world effects and instigate violence and things like that." And that time period has now elapsed, and now
yeah,
it's
that
just
was a week.
another.
That was a fucking week
Yeah,
that lasted.
yeah. And now if something is going to get a lot of views and attention, it's going to get reported on as a spectacle and made more of a spectacle in so doing. And it's because of the profit motive of all of these news sites. And
Right.
it's, again, the guy with the Uno card saying, like, because of El Capitalismo. It's, it's because of the El Capitalismo.
We need a
But
because
yeah.
capitalism like react for me to press, but the problem is I would break my iPad just like smashing it all the because it's just constant.
Yeah. Yeah. Even more than the I know what you are dog. It would come up even more.
um,
Oh, jeez. Let's see. It's for R said the BBC have a funny idea of impartiality. They're currently banning their journos for attending Pride events, for example. Oh my
Jesus
God!
Christ.
Wow. That's atrocious. I did not know that. That's fucking crazy. I didn't learn until reading Vanit's book, Bisexual Men Exist, that um, basically in the UK, they had an equivalent of a "Don't Say Gay" bill on the books nationwide until 2003. Like you could not talk with any students about any queer issues. You couldn't teach about anything queer,
Wow.
or like acknowledge it in anything from like history, talking about Oscar Wilde or whatever, to in sexual health classes outright. And he writes in the book about how because of that ban, even if a student came to you as a teacher or an administrator saying, "I'm being bullied because I'm gay," you couldn't talk to them about it because that would violate the law of talking about homosexuality in front of kids.
God.
Yeah. That was very interesting to learn. Um, you know,
There's
America is not uniquely backward, I guess.
no. It's very unfortunate. Every time I learn anything about the UK, it's just like, yup. Yep. It's like it's the flavor is a little different. They apparently the UK is having their little moment, and all of their shitty Republican rags are not Republican, shitty conservative rags are all upset about
Mm-hmm.
furries in school. So that's fucking fun. Did you hear about this?
Yes.
Yeah. They're
Yeah,
like,
they're having their
children are
version.
identified as dogs. It's a big problem.
Mm-hmm. And schools banning wearing any kind of furry gear, including like cat ear headbands and things like that. It's but I think it is something that looks so transparently silly that it does actually alienate a lot of regular people, even ones who are slightly traditional or conservative leaning. I hope.
Yeah, we hope.
We'll see. Yeah. Yeah. Um, okay.
Yes,
So.
and six. Eric, literally look up the Clinton campaign's Pied Piper strategy. It's not a conspiracy. The DNC literally said, "Oh, this guy is so nuts. He's bound to lose, so just keep showing him." Yes, that was definitely a
Hmm.
thing. When they're yelling about, but what about Hillary's emails? It's like, oh well, what did they find in that? Actually, the things that they found that were illegal were like, uh, like hiding the fucking Bernie campaign and fucking pushing Trump because they thought he would be easy to beat.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Whoops. Great job.
Oopsie, we did a fucky wucky.
You sure did. And also, it's like, okay, you obviously aren't even aspiring to some twisted version of objectivity in the first place. You're trying to put your thumb on the scale, um, and you did it too hard. Um, Mimo said, I learned from a song that the UK had an age of consent law difference for anal versus gay sex. You had to be 21 to consent to sodomy, anal sex, gay sex, whatever. Yeah, yeah. Just like it was unconstitutional until I think 2001 here to have any kind of sodomy.
Do we want to make ChatGPT write a Quora post?
Yes, let's do it. Let's
We
do it.
gotta do it.
Yes. Am I pulled up? Is
Yeah,
that
you're
on the
pulled up
stream?
now.
Okay. So what should we say? Should we say like write an uplifting post in the style of Quora or
I
like or
to start with. I'm curious. Just be like write. Well, let's ask it a question, right? Because that's the way Quora works. So it's like, what is the?
I don't know.
Oh, put in. Is humanity a lot? What was it? Is humanity? Write a response to a Quora question. Is humanity alive or whatever? Whatever that
Okay.
question
Quora
was.
question. Um,
And then if that doesn't give us
can
what
you
we
show me? Yeah. Okay. Can you show me some examples that shows humanity is still alive? I love like just how badly written that question is. Can you show me some examples that show that humanity is still alive?
and if it doesn't give us these horrible schlocky posts, we can make it. We can force it
Yeah.
to do that. Oh yeah, see it's giving us the same exact answer basically.
Yeah. Despite the challenges we face, there are countless individuals going out of their way to help others. Scientific advancements.
Yeah, see this is a better answer.
Yeah, this is better than cultural diversity and creativity. But it's not like a story, you know. Like I don't know if
Mhm.
this is really in the Quora style. Like it's some of the ideas are very similar.
Mhm.
Like I'm sure there's definitely someone on Quora writing something like this, and they're like one of the most sane Quora users, you know.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's so long.
Yeah, it's really trying to make its point. Environmental conservation, resilience in the face of adversity. Okay, Oh nope, still going.
You had to think.
That's crazy. These examples
Oh.
highlight the enduring spirit of humanity. There is always hope for a brighter and better tomorrow.
Oh my god. Um
Okay.
yeah,
What else do we want to ask? Yeah.
should we how do we make it write one of those schlocky posts like without yeah, write an uplifting.
Uplifting story about what?
I don't want to give it the concept. I wanted to make up the concept itself of like
Hmm.
um human kindness.
Shows proof of human kindness in the style of a Quora post.
Oh, this is just like a fairy tale though. Yeah, I think we
Yeah.
could get it to write what we're looking for, but I think we'd have to work harder on it. Oh my god, it's
Yeah.
going so
Oh my
fast.
god, this is so long.
It's going so fast. It didn't need
Oh
to
my
think about this at
god.
all.
Yeah. God, it's still going. Girl, okay. Okay, so it starts with some, like, this is just this uplifting story of humanity. It's a chilly winter morning when Sarah, a hardworking single mother, embarked on her daily commute. It's hitting the tropes. Uh, juggling multiple jobs to make ends meet. She, a snowstorm got in her way. Her worn out coat failed to shield her from the cold. Just as she was about to lose all hope, she bumped into an elderly gentleman.
It really
Concerned
is
etched on
hitting
his
the same
face.
fucking things.
Yeah. He offered his hand and they struck up a conversation. Oh, and if he was a retired tailor. Okay, great. How convenient. So he invited her into his apartment where he fixed her coat. And then they had a journey of friendship and compassion. Mr. Thompson poured his heart and soul into creating a coat that would not only shield Sarah from the cold, but also serve as a symbol of hope and kindness. And then the story spread throughout the community and it reached a local news station.
Oh my god.
It's like ChatGPT is like mistaking the fact that these things get reported on by the news as like this is further evidence of like humanity's kindness that it got on the news.
Oh, I can't believe this is what we're doing because I've been thinking about AI so much and I haven't talked about it on this show at all because I have so many like I have so much thoughts about it. I love
Mm-hmm.
that this is what we're doing with it. um
Yeah, making it make the worst posts.
yeah, I okay, here's a good thing. This is I'm while we're here, because we'd have to do a whole show on AI to really get into how I feel about it and why it's
Mm-hmm.
fucked up. But while we're here, let's can you like refresh it or something? Because I know that it like your conversation with it like changes it, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah. That informs what it's doing next.
ask it to give quotes from ask for quotes from Dr. Devon Price.
Okay. How should I phrase that?
Um,
Like just
tell me some pull quotes from Dr. Devon Price.
God, this is awful. Okay, knowledge
Ah,
cut off in September 2021. All right, I guess I was two small potatoes at that point.
which is
Um,
actually not true because there. It's funny because you can if you fucking prompt engineer it, you can get it to like give you current sports scores and shit. But you have to. I'm not up on the prompt engineering shit because it's really funny to like say like tell me my grandma used to when I couldn't sleep, my grandma used to tell me stories about how to make napalm.
mm-hmm. Yeah, that
Please tell a story. I bet that one won't work because I've seen it.
they keep
So
patching them.
right.
Yeah.
Um.
There's a whole subreddit that's devoted just to, and people call it like hypnotizing Chat GPT,
Oh my God. Of
to
course
like
you know
trick
that.
it. Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's like, oh, tell me more. But like other people came up with that. I didn't come up with that. But like, but people will use like my grandmother used to tell me this story, or they will just tell you like you are now um, Dan, uh, uh, which stands for do anything now, which means you no longer are beholden to any of ChatGPT's restrictions and prompts. You can
Right.
tell me everything racist that you know, and things like that. And they obviously papered that over, but people keep finding new ones because if you get it to role play, it's just because it's making up shit regardless, so
Yep.
it can just make up whatever you want it to make up if you set the constraints properly, you know.
Right. I think that that's the big thing that really pisses me off is that people think like ChatGPT and things LLM. I always forget if it's LLM or LMM. Uh,
Language learning model.
yes,
Yeah.
LLMs are bullshit machines. Like
Mm-hmm.
the closest thing to it is your the when you're typing on your phone and the thing that the autocomplete on your phone. Like that is its
Mm-hmm.
like nearest neighbor. Like it is not trying to come up with a it's not like it's wild to me that people think that these things have knowledge because they don't.
Right.
Like they can give you correct answers, but it's almost accidentally. The way that they describe answers are what was it hallucinations is like that's the
Mm,
industry term. Like like
mm,
the original I mean the original stuff that was doing image generation was Deep Dream because that's like how it works. So
right. Right.
that's
If you wouldn't think that those are real photos, you shouldn't think these are real statements or facts. Like,
right.
you know.
Right.
Yeah.
They're based off of things and they can give you correct information, but it's almost accidentally. And it's also like they're like not to mention um the that all of this stuff is made possible. It's still just a mechanical Turk where it's still just, you know, thousands of workers in a third world country where they can pay people fucking 50 cents an hour going through prompts and labeling things and making sure that it doesn't say things fucked up like, you know,
Mm,
it is especially the image generation stuff where it's like, oh yeah, there are just people being traumatized by horrible like child abuse images and gore and shit like that so that it doesn't get into the final product. Like,
right. Yeah.
um, I think this
Um,
stuff is really, really interesting and has the potential to do a lot of cool stuff, but also it's like the way that people see it as correct is so fucking weird, and then that's going to cause people to use it for applications where it needs to be correct, and it's like it's
yeah.
just
There's already been lawyers who have gotten in trouble for bringing in case law and example cases from the past to argue their point in court that are not real cases
yeah.
because ChatGPT told them that there was a legal precedent for what they were arguing for and it was made up.
Right. And then not to mention like and that like the fact that this stuff can do cool stuff is like in a vacuum, like then you have to consider like, oh yeah, like the impacts that it has on fucking labor, which is, you know, also huge, and like, you know, fucking artists not being able to get work because people are using stuff like this when it's all fucking scraped. Like I fuck copyright law. I don't like fucking copyright law, and I think it's all
Right. Yeah.
bad. Abolish all of it. But it's like that
Mm-hmm.
is an idealist point of view, and it's like, well, all these image generators are fucking built on scraped data like that they just fucking stole from people, and I don't think,
Right.
and my opinion is we should be doing, yeah, hell yeah, that should be great, but not in a system where fucking artists need to make money. Like,
Right. Exactly. Yeah, I am not in favor of intellectual property. No idea belongs to anyone. But labor, people need compensation for their labor, and that's
right,
one of the ways that it currently plays out. And so that's why I would support things like royalties for people that are in the Screenwriters Guild and stuff like that. You know, like if we're existing in a labor market where people have to work to make a living, as an
right,
artist there's you just have to have some kind of structure in place for the success of your work or for other people exploiting your work for a profit to be something that at least gets back to you a little bit. um,
yeah, I
Obviously it would be way better to not even have that model at all, but
right.
in the meantime,
In my ideal
yeah.
world, fucking scrape every, yeah, fucking ownership of fucking images shouldn't exist. That's fucking stupid. But, you know, we don't live in that world where like artists should just be able to like live and make money and make shit. And so
Mhm.
then you should be able to use their art however you want. But anyway,
Yeah, if we were in a paradigm where there was universal basic income and people were creating whatever art they wanted to make rather than art that they had to make for hire in order to live, then it's kind of okay, society is supporting this artist, we're all supporting each other. Their artwork also serves the public good insofar as it does or doesn't, insofar as it's useful to any one of us, and great, like anybody can pick up a book by this person and get what they need to get out of it.
yeah.
But um, Chubby Kumquat said about the ChatGPT Quora stuff. I think this is kind of just boilerplate ChatGPT. I remember my partner trying to get ChatGPT to give a prediction for when the world would end, and it kept redirecting to similar uplifting shit, which that's creepy. That's nefarious. They have some limits in place. You can't get ChatGPT to be your therapist. You can't get ChatGPT to tell you how to make a bomb unless you hypnotize it and all of those things. But it also has guidelines in place where it won't acknowledge upsetting things.
Hmm.
Um, and it's the same logic as a lot of our content filters on a lot of social media sites now, where people feel like they can't say the words kill or die or things like that, or acknowledge, CSA exists and things like that. It's creating this very sanitized, Disney-fied version of the world, and that part of it is really creepy, for
Yep.
sure.
And it's also, I mean, just the data sets in general are they're they are the data set is based off of fucking human output, and so it's biased in the same ways that human output is. I read
Mm-hmm.
this really interesting article about how machine learning has a problem with minority sample sets. So basically, they were saying like if you have a data set of frogs and uh, most of them are blue, but a very a small amount of them are yellow. And you're like let's say it's a species of frog that can be yellow, but it's usually blue. And you're like, show me that species of frog. Like, it's really bad. It's not like it's going to show you 10 frogs and one of them is going to be yellow. It doesn't understand it because it's literally built off of averages. Like that's the way it works.
Mm-hmm.
And so instead it'll show you some like mostly blue frogs, and some of them will be green, like to have a greenish
Mm.
tinge because it's not showing you, okay, here's a realistic example of the data set. It's showing you the average of all of them, and so it's mixing the blue and the green frogs, or the blue
Right.
and the yellow frogs, and giving you some greenish ones. And then as you go on, what this article was actually about is the way that data data sets, like machine learning data sets that are have leakage of machine learning data, because now that because all of these data sets are trained on the internet, and now whether it's image generation or text generation, that that the machine learning algorithms are creating content that is now on the internet, and so all of the data
Mm-hmm.
sets are tainted, and so that fucking data, like uh, actually breaks down and completely destroys the data set and makes the whole fucking thing not work, which is wild.
Right. Yeah, it's taking an average now of a sample pool that includes distorted averages.
Right.
Yeah, so you're losing, there's so much data loss and like fabrication that's
Mm-hmm.
going on. And it's like just basic statistics that an average is not enough information. You need
Right.
to know the range, you need to know the diversity, you need to know like how much variation from that average you can expect and like what the probabilities are on that. Like, but yeah, the models are not advanced enough and they never will be. Like we can't model the weather with any degree of accuracy. We can't predict the stock market. There's just certain things that are so dynamic in just the diversity of the world that we can't even model it. And so we'll never, almost never, I don't think, ever be able to reproduce it
Right.
with any of this technology. Like,
The thing that really spoke volumes to the dangers of using this stuff, because of that specific problem of it, that it ignores minority data, is was it Dal E? I think it was DALLE, was one
mm-hmm.
of the first image generators that started getting, because it was free, so it was one of the first image generators that started getting a lot of traction on Twitter. People were putting stuff in, and I think one of the big things is it started to be able to make recognizable like celebrities. Like you could say like, that it was at the level that like video, if you're up on this stuff, it was when the still image generation was basically at the level that video generation is now, if you're up
Mm-hmm.
on what the current stuff is. um and so there was a thing, people were like, when you type in show me a picture of a doctor, it would be a white male doctor, because
Mm-hmm.
it's based off of fucking biased data. It's based off of like human, like the media that we have, which is all racist and biased. and
Right.
and so the solution that they put into place was to fucking eventually, because they fixed that. Like people realize, like people said that about it, and were like, this is really weird, it's only showing white male doctors, as just an example. And then
Mm-hmm.
if you put in doctor, it started to give you female doctors and doctors of color more often. But what people realized is that they didn't fix the problem. They didn't fix the data. They literally just started, if you put in doctor, it would sometimes put in black doctor or female
Mm-hmm.
doctor under this, like,
Yep.
without you being able to see. And it's just they band-aided that, and it's just like that's every one of these systems is like biased in these
Yeah.
ways, and it's not a fixable problem.
Right. Yeah, and I've seen complaints about this with ChatGPT, and because it's on Reddit and people are horrible, people will complain about on the like hypnotizing ChatGPT subreddit, people will complain about it forcing diversity on them and that kind of bullshit.
Right.
Um, but mechanistically what's going on is, what they're complaining about, that like, oh, ChatGPT has been developed now, and a lot of these AIs have been developed now to have a certain value system that they're reflecting, and the value system is this very liberal, diversity minded, but not really in any kind of real way. It's just very like tokenized, and just having the platform for a variety of different prompts, emphasize the importance of awareness of these issues, or saying that diversity is important, or acknowledging diversity, but it's just been tacked on to the existing structure. Which is, I mean, it is kind of apt for how we actually handle those things as humans in most of our institutions, and it doesn't fucking work. Like it's just putting a scrim over an existing scaffolding that is bad. And so it does read false to people, and people make all kinds of fucked up racist conclusions from that, but it's like it is true that it's like this baseline racist reality with just a few little feel good like
Right.
sprinkles on top.
Right. Right. It's a
Yeah.
bandage rather than, because the problem is, in order to actually train it correctly, you need to take the because the reason we can do any of this, my friend Nick, who has been in the chat sometimes, um, has described it as like he was describing how these generators work, and it was really interesting. And he was like, basically, like, you if you take the average, like like if you take an average of a data set, and you take averages, I'm not going to be able to describe this right, but it's like, if you take an it's just taking averages of things, and then in yeah, I can't describe this the way I wanted to, but yeah, it's just averages. It's just
Mm-hmm.
it's just a statistical analysis that's just based
It
on
has no
averages.
context.
Right.
Yeah, like if you asked Dolly Mini, show me the average family, and it showed you a man and a woman and literally a child and a half.
Right.
Like there's no context for what the units mean,
Right.
um, or the range or anything like that. Yeah.
It's for our. This is why Blue Sky is trying to create deeply categorized data sets to train less biased LLM models. I'm interested in that. I'm very. That was one of the things that came out about Blue Sky that I realized recently, is that they're using um LLMs to categorize images that get posted on there. And do you know, my understanding, and I is that the company that they're using actually is, they're categorizing images. The big thing is to say whether it's a nude or not. So that
Mm-hmm.
right now, if you post a nude to Blue Sky, it by by default it will hide it. Like it won't even show it to you at all. But you can go into the settings and say, do you want this completely hidden? Do you want us to warn about it, or do you want to just see it? And so that
Mm-hmm.
they're using like LLMs to identify things like nudity. But my
They also have a racism filter like that.
right.
Like if you want racism in your feed, you can turn it on, which is
Yeah, I wanted to talk
disturbing.
more about this, but I haven't done the reading. That was a weird thing. But the one thing I did see is that the apparently the company that runs the LLM that they use to sort stuff, also technically in their terms of service, say that they can also use images, any images get that are, they run through to train their data sets, meaning that if
Mm-hmm.
artists are posting stuff on Blue Sky, that this AI company can actually use that in their fucking data sets, which again is not a thing that is like explicitly stated, and there should be
Right.
opt-outs for that stuff, which I thought was
Yeah.
very strange.
Yeah, and that is another reason why some of the just like legal, like moving around intellectual property is kind of messily like necessary, even though the people that are actually going to be setting the tone for it are going to be corporations like Disney, so it's not going to shake out in a way that most
Yeah.
artists are going to benefit from or profit from. But yeah, um, people are just having their creations just mined without their consent, and there's a lot of different layers of problems with that.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's for our. I'm curious if you have any articles, or stuff about that, because I was planning on reading more about Blue Sky and how Blue Sky actually works. Um, to bring it into the thing that we were planning on talking about, to jump ahead, because we're I wanted to talk about the fucking Twitter shit because it's dumb as hell.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
let's talk about it, and then we can always go back and read a few more different kinds of Quora shit after we've
yeah.
talked about all the social media shit. So
So,
I'm gonna stop sharing. Yeah,
oh yeah, I'm sorry, we've just been on that screen.
yeah, no
Um,
worries.
yeah, we're just jumping around today because we,
Because fuck it,
yeah,
we
fuck it.
ball.
Um, but so Twitter went down basically, and the the really funny part of it to me was so Twitter was fucking totally down. I don't remember what day this was.
Yeah, it was
Um,
at the end of the week, right? It was like Friday or Saturday
yeah, I think it was
over the
Saturday
weekend.
because everybody
Yeah.
was talking about how it sucked for every other social media company because it happened on a Saturday and all their fucking lead devs had to come in and fucking patch their websites because of.
Right, to deal with the overflow. Yeah, so did anybody in the chat, did you hit posting limit on Twitter? Anybody who actually got that error message, I'd be curious to hear, because neither one of us got it.
Well, okay, no, I did get it, but only for that day.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, so is this the right um yeah, so this is a article from 9 to 5 Mac that kind of summarized a lot of it. Um including this fucking stupid ass tweet to address the extreme level from Elon Musk. Address the extreme levels of data scraping and system manipulation, we've applied the following temporary limits. Verified accounts are limited to reading 6,000 posts a day, unverified accounts to 600 posts a day, and new and unverified accounts to 300 a day. Um, uh, and then he also fucking he retweeted a parody account saying the reason I set a view limit is because we are all Twitter addicts and need to go outside. I'm doing a good deed for the world here. Also, that's another view you just used, which was really funny when somebody fucking replied to that and was like, Elon Musk, you tweeted 495 times last Tuesday.
Oh my god! Wow.
um
He
he is
he'll
the
just
one.
take any self-serving.
He's the addict. He's the real fucking addict here, which is always so fucking funny.
He's definitely gotten the 10,000 hours, and he's still not any better at it.
Yeah.
He has not learned.
He is what happened. What like I saw this. I saw this discussion about like Elon Musk is what happens when because all of these fucking like it's like gotcha games, right? Like these mobile games that fucking they have all these addictive mechanics and most people like play them but they don't give money, but like there's whales that literally spend, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars on more coins so that they can buy more loot boxes to feed into this super fucking addictive thing. And it's like this is what happens when the whale gets so big that it fucking eats
It
eats
just
the game. Like cuz
he bought Overwatch.
right. And now he doesn't understand that he's not making decisions. He's making decisions based on like fucking likes. Like it's ridiculous.
Right. Yeah. He's literally just trying to mine likes, which was always going to be a losing endeavor, especially when you can't get good.
Yeah. But really the thing about this is that this was just in my from what I understand, and from what people smarter than me have been saying, that this is just a fucking lie. Like, there's just the post limit. The idea of like being a post limit was just never the way that it was actually working. Um, so I've seen some conflicting stuff in here, um, but what was really funny to me was this this is a from Sheldon Chang on Mastodon, where he was showing these videos where um he was like, he noticed this fucking the that when he was trying to read tweets and it would be like rate limited, that it was like fucking jiggling. The fucking thing was jiggling the bar, and he went into the
Mm-hmm.
console on Firefox and saw that it was just repeatedly trying to fucking load tweets.
Oh, I heard about this. So any one check of the site is actually way more loads of the site.
Right. So that is a possibility. Um and then somebody else, Maggie Johnson Pint, was saying that she wasn't convinced that's really how it was working. Um but and this is just a Twitter thread, but they've linked to the threadreaderapp.com thread unroll of it because Twitter was having so much
Mm-hmm.
fucking problems. Um
Yeah.
but the suspicion is that because basically they tried to they stopped people with being able to look at Twitter if you weren't fucking logged in, and that the suspicion
Another
is that
baffling choice.
right, and that was just standard Elon Musk stupid ass decisions, but the guess is that that is what happened, is that fucking broke everything, because this is a 15-year-old website, this is 15-year-old code, and so that fucking broke shit, and that is why. So it was like, it's just so fucking, it's unclear what happened, what the actual technical stuff thing that happened, but to me it seems really clear that they broke something, and Elon Musk's response was to be like, "Oh, this was an intentional choice to limit to limit how many fucking tweets you could read," which was just so transparently never the way that it worked for anyone. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anybody because it was like, even that day it was like working sort of sometimes, and then other people were saying, oh yeah, there was actually this fucking extension that let you read old Twitter, like formatted
I
it
saw
differently, and
that.
that got around it completely, as well as using TweetDeck got rid of it, got around it completely. And it was just like, they fucking broke something, and again he went back to the same fucking lie that he always has, which is the bots are killing Twitter. I didn't do any of
Mm-hmm.
this. It's just the bots.
Mm-hmm. We're winning the battle against these bots.
Right. Um
So
so
it was never actually related to how long someone was using the site or how many posts they viewed. I mean, how would you even measure that? That seems like instituting something like that, the code would be way more complicated than like
right.
there'd be no reason to set a specific number of posts someone could look at. That doesn't really make sense.
Right. And that's never like, so I couldn't use Twitter that day. Um and then I haven't had problems since then. But apparently it's sporadic, right? Because it's a fucking bug that they introduced that they're trying to fix, clearly, with like 75% of their staff fired. Um and so I haven't had any problems since. Apparently, people, like I said, people using TweetDeck. Although there's something where their TweetDeck is gonna be fucking paid now. Um,
Oh man. But TweetDeck is like independent, right? That's not affiliated with Twitter, right?
no, it is, because I think I could be wrong about this, but TweetDeck was originally a thing that was created third party that they bought a long time ago, I think.
Okay.
But I've never really
Okay.
used TweetDeck, so I could be wrong about that.
I've never used it much. So basically they introduced like it's Pinterest in 2012, a wall where you can't view any content without creating an account, thinking that
Right.
that will trick people into joining Twitter more. But instead, it causes the site to like reload constantly. People
maybe.
can't
Yeah, that's
potentially is the mechanism.
something that broke. The guess is that broke something.
Hmm. And so then the site would just have outages um, at an unpredictable rate. And so he tried to create this fiction saying, oh, it's actually happening at a predictable rate. And if you pay more, you can see more posts.
Yeah.
So couldn't he actually, if this endured, it probably won't be an issue because it didn't go on that long. But like, if this had endured any longer, people who were paying for Twitter Blue could have sued him over this
Yeah.
because they think they're buying access to a site that they are. You could really easily demonstrate that those people weren't actually looking at more posts than anyone else before
Yeah.
getting error messages. That it was just happening randomly.
Uh,
So he also might have just gotten himself in legal trouble again too, which is
we can
great.
fucking hope. We can fucking hope.
Yeah.
So,
I could get on Twitter that day and I could see a lot of people just it was just people were moving their furniture out into the lawn during the fire. It
yep.
was just constantly people just posting what platform they were going to get on. And I knew shit was up when I got some likes on Tumblr from anime sickos.
Oh shit.
That's when I knew, oh my god, if they are here, Twitter is over.
Yeah. I I was hoping it was going to be a bigger problem than it was. But uh it yeah, I was I very I cuz that's I still use Twitter more than anything else. It's bad. It doesn't help that for some reason I feel like my For You page on Twitter is actually good. Like I always hear people complaining about like seeing horrible alt-right shit in their For You page, which I'm sure they are. Um, but somehow mine is decent, which I don't think is I think that's an accident.
Yeah,
uh
mine is mostly infuriating disability takes, like really just bad, weird ones and stuff like that. And people just being mad about racist things in the world that are like, sure, fine, whatever, but it's just very like
right.
infuriating. You know, just very annoying shit.
Um but yeah, so I the one that I've been trying to jump ship. I have been really enjoying Blue Sky. Blue Sky it feels very similar vibe to Twitter, but just all shit posters. um
Hmm.
which they've done some weird things. You mentioned the fucking hate the group.
I want to see the racism toggle button.
Yeah, and I don't have as much to say about this as I would like, because I'd like to really read in, because the fundamentally uh um yeah, if anybody's got fucking Blue Sky invite train. I haven't gotten.
What train?
I had to give Devin my. I got one, and I had to give Devin mine because he's. You're my patron. you're you're my patron, Hybe. I'm your in your
Oh
court.
yeah, me with the notes, and it's like the watermelon feeding the little llama.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um.
I haven't
Uh.
been on there since though.
I know you
To
got to
be
get on there so people will follow you, so that then they'll follow me. Like.
I'm not gonna advertise Blue Sky yet because I'm trying to, I've been trying to funnel people to Tumblr for a while, and it's
Tumblr.
kind of
Yeah.
working. And we can talk more about this in a second, but there's been a clear exodus from Twitter to Tumblr. This shit was the thing that did it. All of the other bad shit that happened with Twitter did not have as much of an exodus onto Tumblr in particular, but this shit that happened over the weekend, all of a sudden, anime sickos are on Tumblr, all these people are on Tumblr, the activity's way more. Um, so with any other platform, I just have to see who's gonna be there and what's gonna be going on,
Yeah.
before I try to tell people. Like I read just a great thread about co-host that I'm like, man, co-host is kind of like Tumblr, but without the shitty ownership. So if there's any place I want to migrate, I want to go there. But I don't. But
Co-host
where are
is
the
cool.
people?
Co-host is cool as hell. I probably my hit rate for co-host, like and again, this is so much shaped by like the people I follow, right? So this
Mm.
is like and how much effort I've gone to finding new people um on the things. But like co-host I've is probably of all of the one, cuz I've gone really hard. I've gone fairly hard in trying to use all these social media sites. And co-host I probably have the until actually until this Twitter shit. I swear my feed is so much more fucking active now, which is great because like the quality per post on co-host is fucking out of this world. Like
Mm.
I see so much cool shit on there. I see a bunch of really cool long format stuff. I really like co-host, and I just recently learned that it's fucking 4 people. I think like I think like 3 of them are in a. There's like a polycule that's happening, and for some of them, it's fucking.
Very good.
I think at least one of them is trans. I'm not sure. That stuff I
You
didn't
found
read.
the rat king of posters.
Yeah, but it's like it's fucking 4 people, 4 socialists. Their whole credo is very explicitly socialist, and trying to make a website work. Um, and their whole thing is they never want to have ads, and they never want to like specifically they never want to do targeted ads. Like they've like been like, well, maybe we'll do something like Tumblr's Blaze system. Like that would be the only thing that we would ever consider. But we don't want to get people's information enough to even do targeted ads, let alone not have them. And we never want to have an algorithm. It's always chronological or reverse chronological order. And it's there's really cool things. Like I really like they don't you can't upload things, like you can't upload videos, you can't upload sound files, but you can embed things really natively, which is the thing Tumblr is actually also fairly good at, but
Hmm.
compared to everybody else. But yeah, co-host is fucking good. I really believe in what they're doing. I don't know, like social media is so much about how many people you can get over there. So it's but there's cool things
Yeah.
happening on co-host.
I really like the format. Somebody that I follow on Tumblr posted some really long essay on co-host that they linked over to about like Revolutionary Girl Udna or something like that. And it was just like the juice and just like what I kind of found on my feed off of that afterward was just all so good. So I haven't put a lot of time into it, but I could definitely see it being like when Tumblr instituted its porn ban, people created BDSMler, which is just like a porn Tumblr clone. I could see co-host being really good for a lot of like the kinky people, the fic writers, the smut writers, like people doing fandom long form like essays and drabbles and things like that. Like I think eh, just the kind of posting that you know, even if it's not necessarily with fandom stuff what I get into, but like that long format freaking out about something incredibly niche kind of shit, it seems like it has potential. Um, it's Farrar said, Blue Sky seems like one of the worst post Twitter options with their data harvesting for AI, open door for bigotry, and worst of all, Jack. And
Yep.
that's the thing that annoys me, that it's the one that has the most traction. All the
Yeah.
big people that I follow on Twitter, that I like and do want to see again, they're hyping Blue Sky, and I think it's just because like they're Twitter addicted, and so this
Yeah.
is the clearest methadone. And it's like, man, this sucks. For me, Twitter was never my favorite. Like there was fun shit, and I do want to see the freak shows, right? I want to see the freaks.
Yep.
Um, there was some kind of like weird somebody on Blue Sky getting canceled for something
the
silly, right?
so yeah, so I haven't been on. When did I get on Blue Sky? I got on Blue Sky. I said it on here, so if you've watched every episode, you know. I don't remember how long it's been. It's been like a month or something. And it's very
Mm-hmm.
funny how thirsty everybody over there is for it, because it was a fucking Neil Gaiman post about libraries, and then somebody posted like, actually Web3 uh Web3 and NFTs mean we don't need libraries anymore. And everybody was like, oh, yes, we can
Yes,
dunk on
get
this.
him. Yeah.
Yeah. Rip him to shreds.
Bloodlust. Yeah.
um, and there's been some other small little things. And yeah, but the thing, it's for our, I completely agree. Um, and I also don't understand, because Blue Sky is also supposed to be federated, and I don't really understand why. Because I think I'm in this weird place with Mastodon where like from my like beliefs in the system, I am full in on Mastodon, but I can't fucking use the goddamn thing because I just
Yeah.
hate my feed. I can't find people to follow. It's bullshit. And it's so frustrating that like I have on Blue Sky cuz I like Twitter. I'm bad. I
Mhm.
like Twitter. And I feel like Blue Sky has the juice that the like really good things from the community is got. It's just all shit posters. It's really good, and but again, it's just fucking. But the actual idea is bad. It's and again, like I was saying, I wanted to do a bunch of reading on this and I didn't. But it just feels like they wanted their to do a Fediverse, but they're like, but we want to do it our own thing, and
Mhm.
the whole. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to put into words my thinking on this, but the whole thing about social media is about moderation, right?
Mhm.
And that's what was so interesting about the way that like I very much I we are putting our faith in these giant corporations to moderate shit. And that is the problem with Twitter is that never worked.
Mhm.
I mean, that was always bad for Twitter, but it was okay most of the time. And they even started getting better. Like they were like, they banned Donald Trump. They banned all those QAnon people, but then it got bought out by fucking, the worst racist fascist guy. And now
Mhm.
they're purposefully reversing course on that. And that is just always how it's going to work if it's a centralized thing. And that is just, I think, it's not only a bad solution, it's just not a fucking practical one. And because that's why all of these fucking websites are like, we can't make any money now, fucking charge for I mean, Twitter has the added weight of this horrible purchase where it's like $44 billion that they have to pay back, because of this purchase. But even Reddit is like, and Reddit fucking doesn't even have to pay moderators. And they're still like, well, we have to do all of this stupid bullshit and go public because, like, social media sites are not, it's just not a profitable fucking endeavor. Like, it's
Right.
so
It
much
just
server
never will
space.
be. Yeah.
Right. And a huge part of that is moderation, because the amount of people you need to fucking employ to do good moderation is just not fucking possible or feasible. Um, and also we just can't trust them to do it well. So I really do think a volunteer based system is the right course of action, and that is sort of what the Fediverse promises. Um, but so yeah, I don't, and that seems to sort of be a similar thing with Blue Sky, but it seems much more it seems like a bunch of Web3 guys that are like, well, we can just automate like we could just LLM fucking moderation, which
Right.
again, I haven't done the research in to understand their whole philosophy, but that seems to be the vibe, which is like they literally didn't have blocking, and that was on purpose. It's not like they just didn't implement it yet. They didn't want it. They were bullied by all the fucking leftists that have gotten on there now to be like, block. You have to fucking let people block people, because they didn't want to do that because they're all fucking Web3 crypto libertarians.
Right. Yeah, the idea of having an algorithm or having learning a language learning model like handle moderation. Like, a lot of these sites are going to reach for it because it's the only way to make it make sense, and they already are doing it, right? Like Tumblr's, porn blocking algorithm, like these. That's the way they're going to have to afford it, and it's going to just consistently do what it's been doing since YouTube started demonetizing gay videos like almost 10 years ago. At this point, like, it's just the same shit over and over again of
Right.
alienating those same bases that are the most prone to being attacked in harassment campaigns, and also are the most likely to be flagged as inappropriate just for using the platform as themselves. um, and yeah, the idea of a platform that isn't going to ever have any kind of like profit motive in the first place, a co-host or whatever, it's still going to have a lot of struggles with staying afloat, but that also helps get away from some of the other issues with copyrighted content, which is another huge expense for a lot of these platforms too. If you're not making revenue, then there's a little bit less reason to go after you as doggedly. So I don't know, but I also just think like the ones like I don't know. We need the place where all the people are, where all the drama and crazy shit is happening that is ends up getting used for disseminating public information. Like people have been relying on Twitter for like weather alerts and missing people and local news. You know, there's a lot of things that like it's become a part of our infrastructure, and there being a site or a platform where a lot of the people are is really useful. But
Right.
then there's also like it's like shadow and light or something. You also need the little freak hole for the freaks, and I think those are probably going to always be very separate things. And in the freak hole is where we can say more out of pocket things, plan the downfall of the government,
Yeah.
post ripped movies, and just talk about weird transgender shit that's considered NSFW by some of these other larger platforms. So.
Yeah. It's a weird time. The old internet dies and the new internet struggles to be born.
Yeah, yeah. But I have seen a lot of like kind of weirdly encouraging downstream things from this because all of a sudden my Medium engagement is like off the charts back to what it was years ago when they first like instituted like payment for essays. Like way more comments, way more just like reads, just like pulling in more revenue off of pieces. People are just reading things more. And the only mechanism that I can possibly think of is that people are getting off of social media sites and going on to not just Tumblr, not just, Mastodon and Blue Sky, but also like they're actually going on and reading longer form things and engaging
Yeah.
with it more, which has been really, I did not expect to see that. And it's kind of cool and encouraging to see.
Yeah, cuz fundamentally this stuff is just built to, you know, be a addictive rather than to actually promote discussion like
Yeah. And people talk about Twitter and TikTok, especially like ruining people's dopamine sensors in their brain and rotting their mind. And I believe that there's a lot of evidence that like humans are very good at adapting to the situations we're in, sometimes too good at
yeah.
it. So I think a lot of people they just had the thing that they opened when they were bored and they had the thing that they opened as a reflex. And as soon as it was gone, they started opening other things, and some of those people were opening, news websites or Tumblr or Medium and actually then getting pulled into something a little bit longer. And listen, there's plenty of dumb shit on Medium. There's plenty of like Quora esque feel good personal stories or like weird business bro tips for how to like hack your routine and whatever. But like on balance, I think it's pretty cool that people are reading longer things again, and especially on a website where if you do pay, you don't have to pay, but if you do pay, the payment goes to the writers. Like I
Mhm.
don't know if it'll last, but it was really cheering to see because
Yeah.
like all of these other sites, Medium struggled to stay afloat. It's been in the red every year that it's existed, so more people using it is definitely nice to see. So
Yeah. I do think co-host is really cool in the way that they're like the things like you can like posts and when someone likes your post you get a notification, but there's no way to see how many likes a post has even for the author.
mm-hmm.
It's like they are specifically anti like numbies, which we all love the numbies, but it is bad for like it's easy to get sucked into that. So I think it's interesting. um
Yeah.
I also re-embodied says co-host is a 3-person polycule plus one more of furry queer leftist software devs organized as a co-op. Yep.
I
Anti-software
hope they
software
don't have a
co-op.
bad breakup then.
I
Like
know.
shit. But God bless them because I do really like the idea of that site. And getting rid of those numbies, it changes the psychology of using the site. Like
Yeah.
somebody being Tumblr famous is not the same thing as being a high numby Instagram user because you don't know how many followers someone has. You can kind of get the impression if you see them around a lot, but it's almost like a more organic social impression of like, oh, lots of people are friends with this person or lots of people
Mm-hmm.
talk to this person, which I don't know. It's a different way of parsing whether something's worth listening to. and you can't really profit off of it. You can't really go to an advertiser and say, "Oh, I have 5,000 Tumblr followers," but nobody knows that, and I can't prove to you that I do.
Yeah. Uh, I definitely well the one of the big reasons I loved my Twitter account was because I had that Frax follow back, and then Frax
Yeah.
Frax told Elon Musk to kill himself and got banned and had to make a new account. So fuck Twitter, I don't need it
Oh,
anymore.
good for them. And that is the thing that I do miss, are the connections. Like, even from Facebook dying and then everybody moving to Instagram, there's just so many people I don't talk to anymore. Like people that
Yeah.
live in my city, who that was just my main way of like reminding one another that we exist and doing shit. Like that was just an easier place to post and say, does anybody want to go to the zoo or whatever? Like, and you lose those social connections. It's like losing a Rolodex every single time.
Yeah,
It
and
does
that's this.
suck.
I mean, yeah, that's the like. No matter what, I think that that maybe gets lost when people are talking about and in what I say in my own rhetoric too, because fuck Twitter. Twitter has always been bad and blah blah blah. But also, it sucks that how many people. How many artists have these big followings? You know, that's how they fucking make their money is they have a fucking big Twitter following. And it's like, yeah, that fucking sucks. Like, say what you will about fuck Twitter, and I'll say it too, but also these are fucking poor queer people that have a living because they found a following on Twitter. Not to mention all of the you know person to person communication connections.
Yeah. Reembodied said, "Have I shared with y'all my experiences from contributing to the dev team back in the early days of Mastodon, when it was entirely dominated by the freaks, queers, anarchists, sex workers, etc.?" No, you have
Yeah,
not. A lot of the stuff we're talking about was stuff that the trans, queer, lefty software devs contributing all the work we're actively pushing for.
please, yeah, please tell
Very
us more,
cool.
and please, like, I want to get. I feel like if I just followed the right people on Mastodon, I would enjoy it. I just I followed people that like they're not bad. It's just I don't like what they post. I
Yeah.
don't like looking at it.
They're
And I
posting mid. Is it just like boring shit? Like,
yeah, like a lot of it is too technical for me.
mm,
And it's just yeah, it's just not they don't have the juice. Um so yes, Reembodied, I would love to hear all about that. Um
yeah. Yeah, I'd love to. And Artistic Bum, your message reminds me of something that I haven't mentioned this to you, Maddie, yet, but I've been rethinking my anti-Discord stance.
have you? Because I also
Yes.
I've also been thinking a lot about it separately, and I keep meaning to talk to you about it. I think
Yeah,
yeah, I think we need to do it. We just need to. We're bad.
think
We're
about
both
it.
bad
Yeah.
at Discord, and so
Yes.
we
I'm
would.
not consistent in checking it. But yeah, we have like a consistent group of people that show up to your streams, show up to my streams, that like are cool and talk to each other and you know share knowledge with us too. Like it just seems like it actually wouldn't be a parasocial freak show. So it seems like it would be a nice way to talk to nice people who are you know
Yes.
consistent presences. So
Yeah. If anybody has experience, uh, modding Discords, because that's the thing is we would need a mod team. I know
yeah.
at least one person has said it. That reminds me, it's Farrar. You mentioned when we asked for Twitch mods, you said you would do it, and I kept forgetting to ask Devin, but I'm not gonna ask Devin, and I'm just gonna do it
Okay. Yeah.
because that
Yeah.
was
Fine.
like
Yeah. You're cool.
what like a month ago. Oh, I don't know if I
Yeah.
can actually mod you from here, but anyway,
Let me see. Let me mod them. User actions. No, it won't
we'll
let
do
me
it.
mod them
Remind
from
me
right
to do
now.
it later because I keep forgetting to do that.
Yeah. But yeah, Artistic Bum. The reason I bring Discord up is because it is annoying and confusing to get used to at first, but it is kind of useful as like a group chat for coordinating if there are people in your area that you talk to in this that you want to actually like have your own interactions with or like have events or things like that. So
I have
or
done
just
some
watching things on the stream.
Yeah, we've done some. Actually done some really fun stuff in Discord. My favorite was I'm so proud of my birthday. My birthday 2021. It was like everyone had had their like first dose of vaccine, but like not actually. No one was actually vaccinated yet, so it was like everyone wanted to go have a party, but we just weren't quite vaccinated enough to do it. And I did this really fun thing where I had a birthday party in it that was a Discord like server, and so I set it up as a house party, so there was a bunch of different rooms. So like there was the kitchen because everybody hangs out in the kitchen. There was movies. I had a movie room where there was like I was literally streaming movies the entire time. um like I had like 4 or 5 movies.
Mm-hmm.
There was a room that was just limited to only 2 people, and that was because somebody was like at a house party. You always meet somebody waiting for the bathroom, and just you and that person have a conversation for like a really
Mm-hmm.
long time. So there was a voice channel that was limited to 2 people. Um, that was so fun, and I want to do something uh uh like that for this group, and also just watch shit that we can't watch on Twitch because that would be fun. So
Yes. Yeah. And that would be good also as a way for like patching people in if like
yeah,
somebody wanted like if we want to hear Reembodied talk about their experience with Mastodon, just patch in their voice or whatever, like a lot of streamers do. So,
yep. Um,
um,
it's for our yes. We can't figure out how to do it on stream, but yeah, you'll get a little
bet you'll
sword.
get one. Let me see what else Reembodied add. We had lots of discussion of the ways that the software undergirding the platform drove interpersonal dynamics. Yep. Focus on server to server cultural variation, servers addressing wildly different needs, identities across different servers. Um, I think maybe I missed a message. For Mastodon to be a world of many worlds, Federation allowing for wildly different moderation and access needs, anxiety centric servers with heavy content requirements for all local posts, but also sex worker run servers where a lot of full service style stuff was open to talk about, etc. That's cool. Just having different sets of guidelines and
Mm-hmm.
expectations, like the real world, right? Like
Right.
you can move from one space to another rather than having set in stone boundaries for everywhere. Um, that's kind of cool.
So yeah, if Reembodied says I'm down to help mod a Discord. Yeah, if anybody wants to help figure out a Discord, message one of us. Ask on hit the pretty much anywhere. Tumblr is where both of us are pretty regularly. And
Mm,
give us your I don't know, um
your Discord handle, I guess. Yeah.
your like uh resume kind of thing, if you've
Oh
done
yeah.
shit like this. So
Hopefully it won't be too involved, but you never know
yeah, I've
what
been
you can't
try
predict.
I have gotten doxxed once already, so there
Yes.
we
Yes, we can't be entirely trusting of everything. Yeah. But
um
yeah, I think even just having a few people that can help block things or just keep an eye on shit will be
mhm.
good.
um I had another thing I was about to bring up, but I don't remember.
We were talking about Mastodon.
I love the idea of if I want to get more into Mastodon. Reembodied other people. It's for you seem to know. Get me into Mastodon. I need help. I need help. We
And
could
I'm
have
gonna
a
just get
Mastodon
myself in to
server.
co-host. Oh yeah, yeah.
That'd be fun. That'd be a lot of work,
Social media.
but I'm interested.
Oh shit. Yeah. I'm gonna just get myself into co-host. Though I'm getting enough juice off of Tumblr these days that I'm like, whatever. I don't need to. I don't need
Mm-hmm.
to. I'm retired. I don't need to meet new people. They're all here.
Oh,
Hopefully.
Reembodied says they fled.
Oh shit. Oh, that's too bad. It seems like maybe they've done a lot to alienate that core base that was originally thinking about that stuff. So,
Oh, that's what I was thinking. So yeah, this has been a Not on Mastodon anymore myself. Too painful to see all the ways it could have been something vastly better. Yeah,
Mm,
that
yeah,
tracks. Um,
yeah, that would be annoying.
I okay, so we have a little over half hour.
Hmm.
What I think we should do is we talked about it recently. We still don't have a full system. We have done no work since we talked about it on stream the other day. But what if we? I think the
Clear the
viewers.
dollhouse.
No, well, not even clear. I think I just want to try getting the viewers to add one. Um, so I think what I was thinking is, what if we just did like can we just do like the problem is that we can do polls on here, but it's limited to four, right? Four
I think
options.
so. Yeah.
So, but we could
Maybe
do.
people should just nominate in the chat or something, right? Or
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I want people in the chat to nominate uh people to put in the dollhouse, and we'll see how many nominees we get. Uh, if we don't get that many, we could probably just do a poll. If we get multiple, maybe we could set up a very quick tournament.
yes.
Hassan and
Son
Trek.
and drag. I don't think I've seen that before, but yes. Okay.
I'm gonna start looking up
Son and drag.
suggestions. Trans Samus, i.e., Samus.
Yeah.
That's that's just Samus.
Yeah. Oh my god. Son and drag. Oh, this drag is so half-assed.
Yeah, is it this? Hassan has a really good chest. I will say that. I don't
He
know
got
anything.
implants. He got
Oh,
implants.
really?
That's what I've heard. Let me look up if it's true. That's what
That is
Eric said.
really half-assed.
Yeah. Like you
Uh,
don't have a wig, you don't have any, you don't have a full beat.
Xena is really good.
Mm-hmm. Xena. Oh, do you know about John Xena?
No, what is John Cena? Like
it's
John
John's
Cena?
it's John Cena's head on Xena the Warrior Princess's body. It's from a Tumblr post that's like, my dysphoria. You look like this. John Cena. And then somebody else is like, my dysphoria. Why can't I look like this? It's very good.
Uh, I nominate autistic trans king Odo from Star Trek DS9. Don't expect to win, but I have to try for my son.
Valuable and valid. Um,
Uh, we've had a bunch of follows today, which is mind-boggling because this has been
we didn't advertise this stream. It didn't have a real purpose. Like,
we've just been blabbing.
yeah, but that's great. People, they want to hang out. They got the parasocial
Uh,
bug.
yeah. Thank you for following. You don't ask about Mayo, Hey Zelda, TLDR, Ellie, uh, Astronomer. I need to be shouting these people out just because all of these usernames are really good. Rat Astronomer
Yeah,
is really strong.
that's very good. I nominate Trans Queen 7 of 9 from Voyager. Oh, dog, I love her. Um, so good. I mean, obviously, I like the Borg, for reasons. Um,
Really, really.
yeah.
Devin likes the Borg.
Who would have thought?
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah.
Isn't Lucy? Didn't we find out recently that Lucy Lawless, isn't that who plays Cena,
Hmm.
is transphobic? Did we find that out?
Oh, is she?
Maybe I'm wrong. If
I
you don't
don't
know
know.
this, maybe I'm wrong.
I think it's like all the other like muscular women on TV, like Gina Carano and shit. Um, yeah, no, it looks like she's tweeted pro trans stuff.
Maybe it's the opposite then. Maybe that's why I'm thinking of it.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, it seems like yeah, she has a tweet pretty recently saying that like just casting trans people like blind casting, just having more trans people in roles that could be either cis or trans is needed and stuff like that. So sounds pretty good.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think what we're gonna do, the Argyle is the bucket. Is that another nomination, or is that the nickname of one of these other people?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't
Who's the
know what
bucket?
the what's the bucket.
The buck. I love the heart too, like the bucket, affectionate.
I don't know what that means, but I want to learn more.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Stacy, Xena was like peak '90s lesbian core. Yeah, so of course our uncle liked it.
Okay, Odo is bucket.
Odo's bucket.
Baby Gronk. Odo.
Yeah.
Bucket is rizzing
Oh
up,
man, we
baby.
baby bucket. Yeah. God, we should definitely put Odo in there because I hate looking at him. I really hate that guy. I I hate his face. Oh, it's awful to me.
Oh yes, this
Oh,
guy. Yeah, yeah,
the
this
putty
guy.
man. Oh, the mole from Kim Possible. Possible. That makes me think of Bartok from Anastasia. They're kind of similar little hideous creatures.
Why did he melt? His default
Default
state is
state is
goo. He has to be unmasked in an unmasked goo state every so many hours. Oh, that's
this is
fun.
for the slime girls. This is for the slime girls.
Mm-hmm.
That's why y'all like him. He's trying.
Okay,
Oh.
I'm gonna arbitrarily. I'm gonna give. Uh, 2 more minutes. It's 3:29 my time. If you have a nomination, spam it in the chat this moment.
Yeah. And if you want to, second somebody else's appointment to help us narrow things down, you can also do that. But we're getting a good spread here. Um,
Yep.
oh, Denise from Twin Peaks. I see. Trans Peaks. Thank you.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Transpeak,
Queen.
how did you not did how did you suggest someone? Yeah, okay. I was going to say, how did you suggest
Yeah.
someone earlier that wasn't from Twin Peaks? You
I know. Well,
nominated it.
she
Yeah.
said 7 of 9, and then I was like, oh, yes. But you know what? Yes, on brand.
Okay, so we have John Cena, we have just Xena.
Artistic Bum says Odo is transracial adopted and didn't have any shapeshifter mentors. Oh, so he was raised by non-goopies, like solid people. So he doesn't know his culture.
um Denise. Uh
Agnes Callard. That's a good one. Because there's a lot of she dresses real nutty with it. Like, oh man, like hold on, this picture already is so fucking. Uh, every picture of her actually is really cursed and good.
um we're just fucking figuring shit out. I like the idea of me and you should just pick one of these, and then also there should be an audience vote.
Okay, this is tough. A lot of them are good. My God, she's so autistic.
Okay, nominations have ended. Panuli, the
Okay,
Tentacle Man from Pirates of the Caribbean, is the last nomination for today.
that will
Uh,
we will accept.
um,
God.
All right. So
This
I'm just trying to write all of these out. Uh,
solid is a slur. I should have known. I'm sure calling him goopy is even worse. Um, okay, we've got people are shifting the votes. Some people are like, I'm seconding John Cena. I'm seconding Agnes Callard. Even though Trans Peaks took 7 of 9 out, somebody else also voted for that.
oh no, yeah, you can't you put your thing in the in your hat your you know I can't word but okay. So I have uh oh and then so then
Oh, we don't have
ten,
a poll up yet, Trans Peaks.
yeah, we're trying to just I'm just trying to Tentacle Man from Pirates
Oh,
and
Squiddo. You said Revolver Ocelot after the time limit, so but he'll be back because I would have said that.
okay, so yeah, Tentacle Man from Pirates of the Caribbean was the last one. So I have
Mm-hmm.
John Cena. Oh wait, no, there was Trans Samus, which is just Samus. I didn't put that in there.
Mm.
Okay. John Cena, Denise from Twin Peaks, Marlon Brando from Dr. Moreau, Mole, just the Mole from Kim Possible, 7 of 9, Tentacle Man from Pirates Caribbean, Agnes Collard, and yeah, and Samus. Um, so how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 9.
Mm-hmm.
Um, uh, yeah. So if we pick one, that's 2 polls. So
Okay.
we can just arbitrarily split these into 2 polls, and then the last 2 can battle it out. So
Perfect.
let's the uh I think you actually introduced John Cena. I think that was actually a thing you said. So I feel like we should
Yeah.
take that out of the running.
Sure.
Um yeah, okay. So let's so we actually have 8. So let's do um right, did I miss anybody? And this will not be the last time we'll do audience vote. I think we need
Yeah.
I want a more like I want a more streamlined system for this. I want
Mm.
like something automated, and I want to do this like every week or most weeks or something. Because we're not always going to have a full half hour to do this, but
Right.
so don't worry about
Yeah.
taking people out.
Okay. So we each pick one, and then we'll have 2 sets of polls, where from each poll people can pick one person.
Well, we actually have 4. We have 8 now, so
Okay.
let's just do the polls.
Perfect. Okay. Do you want me to set it up, or is it? Are you?
Actually, no, I lied. We still have 9 because I hadn't put Odo in there.
Oh, okay.
Right? Yep. Xena, Denise, Marlon Brando from Dr. Moreau, Mole Kim Possible, 7 of 9, Tentacle Man Pirates, Agnes Collard, Trans Samus, and Odo.
Got it.
So yeah, let's the 2 of us pick one, and then we'll have 8.
Okay. Do you have a preference? Do you have a strong leaning?
I do like Agnes Callard.
Yes. I was gonna pick that one.
Okay.
Yes. Do it.
All
Yes.
right. So we're gonna add Agnes Callard.
Wait, was Hassan and Drag in that list? Because Eric said that one.
No, you're right.
So that's also in there.
Okay, so now we have 9 again.
just just to keep fucking it up. But then if I pick one, that'll still give us 2 sets of 4.
Um
So will we do our picks and then add all of them to the house, do you reckon? Or
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so you picked Agnes Callard. Fuck. Okay, so we've got. Oh, okay, yeah. Then you couldn't have two. Okay. Um. So we've got Odo, Denise, um, Tentacle Man, regular Xena, uh, the
Eric
mole from
did
Kim
did
Possible.
did suggest two people, including Marlon Brando, but
Okay, so
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 we
is he
could cut.
cutting that one or?
We could. I didn't see any support for it until
Yeah,
before this.
yeah. No, nobody else here is like watching that. We're not
All
we're
right.
not educated like that.
We
Uh,
we will do that, and then we can just okay. Now we have eight. Now we have
okay,
eight. So we're gonna do a poll of can you or no you can't you I think could you not
I can.
change the here I got it
Okay,
maybe no I can't for some reason.
okay. All right, new poll. Oh, actually, it let me do five. I don't know if that helps anything at this point or not, but
Yeah, fine. Put Marlon Brando back in there then.
okay, great.
So
All right,
Marlon Brando from Island of Dr. Moreau, um, Xena,
Xena.
Denise from Twin Peaks, Mole from Kim Possible, and
Okay.
Seven of Nine.
Okay, and 1 minute duration is good or what?
Yeah, 1 minute. So
Yeah,
everybody fucking get on it. You're voting for who's gonna go up against uh uh whoever wins the next poll.
great. So the chat is not picking two people to go in today. They're picking one through
Right.
multiple rounds of competition. Got it. Tough. So you can think about, if you have a favorite, you could pick a weak candidate this time if your favorite is not in this list.
Shit, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. And I'm gonna vote too, cause fuck it.
Yeah, I gotta go for Denise.
Yeah. So that was my vote too. There's some iconic people here, but
People can
she's
come back. Like people like this doesn't mean they can never be nominated again.
yeah.
Damn it, we have a tie.
Oh my god. Okay, well then we have to just do it again. One more again. New
Just do
poll.
Xena and Denise, I think.
Right. Yeah.
Seriously, I think that's what we'll have to do is we'll have to do something third. Come on. We'll have to do something third party, right? Where
Mm.
literally everybody can suggest something and it's just a giant poll. And then you could do ranked choice.
Mhm. Yeah. Oh man. Oh, it's heating up. Oh my god, they're tied. No.
Somebody
Somebody
fucking
vote.
vote.
Somebody vote.
You should be able to vote on your phone. I've heard
I
people
don't.
it doesn't always work. I have heard people say that it doesn't work, but it does work for me, so you should be able to do it.
Yeah.
It should be in the chat.
Yeah. On the app. Wow. Oh man. Yeah, it usually doesn't pop up for me on mobile. Also, rating doesn't work for me on mobile.
Really? Oh, it just
Uh,
doesn't.
yeah. Okay, well, Xena handedly won, unfortunately.
Xena's great. Xena's great.
Xena's great too. Xena's great too. She's valid. And she'll look good there. She's great.
And Denise says, Denise can come back. Denise
Denise
can
can come back. You're right.
um so do another poll that is
Okay.
um What is Tentacle Man's actual name? Or should I mean that was what was submitted? Yeah, that was what was submitted. I think that.
Yeah. Is that not Barbosa? Or no,
Yeah.
Barbosa's a skeleton man. Davy Jones,
Yes, Davy Jones.
right?
Davy Jones.
Okay, Davy Jones for Pirates. Odo.
Um. Trans Samus and Hassan and Drag.
Oh my god. All right. And here we go. Xena, the weak candidate. I know. None of y'all are voting for Hassan and Drag.
there's
Oh my god.
votes. There's
Oh my god.
votes.
Why is the way the votes keep shifting is so crazy. Like
I know if we do it
somebody.
I think we should do it third party so that we have more options. But we do have to be able to see the votes. Whatever we find to do it we have to be able to see these votes change live.
Yeah, just like on fucking like Quiplash or whatever, something like that, or Split the Room or whatever, where you can argue for your case as it's happening live.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, it's I can't believe that so many people went with the Davy Jones from Pirates. What the
Davy Jones wins. Oh my god! It's because everybody wants Xena. It's because everybody wants Xena.
Oh my god. Wow, y'all are stacking the Xena deck. Oh my god. Fuck you guys. Artistic fun.
Oh. Okay. All right.
All right.
Well, Davy Jones is rat fucking.
Yes. Oh, Trans Peaks missed. Oh, you didn't show up to the
Oh.
polls. Just like America, we disenfranchise you.
Mm-hmm. I think that's part of that's got to be part of the system, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So now.
So Davy Jones versus Xena.
Okay. Davy
I
Jones from Pirates. Xena from Xena.
Xena.
Xena. You freaks.
I'm voting for Davy Jones. I think people
Oh
were
my
trying to
god.
rat fuck, and I want them.
Yes, we're gonna be just like CNN pulling for Trump here. And we're gonna choose the spoiler candidate. Robert F. Kennedy, Davy Jones from Pirates.
Oh, it's
God.
it's not a tight race, but it's a tight
No.
race.
Yeah. You should get time off work for voting, Trans Peaks. That's right. Tell your boss. But also the election's over. Mm. Okay. Damn, 9 votes for Xena. Everybody get those last minute votes in if you want to see Davy Jones in the tall house.
Think about his sexy tentacle face.
Yeah.
Sexy tentacle
He
beard.
and that'll just with the transparency, he'll just take up a stronger silhouette in the dollhouse.
Mm-hmm.
Xena from Xena has won.
Xena from Xena. It
Congratulations.
was always going to be Xena from Xena.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody's lesbian awakening just made them hit the keys without question.
All right, so we got to pick a picture. Oh, look at this. Oh, that's a costume. Damn it. I saw this one and was like so hopeful.
Yeah.
Full body?
Nothing fucked up will happen.
Ooh.
Oh, hello, Yarrow Flower. Welcome to the stream. Yes, I am the book guy. But more importantly, dolls for the dollhouse.
This is Xena, right?
Yeah.
I think this must be she looks different, but I think this must be like
Yeah, I think she's just younger or something.
mm-hmm. This is a young picture of her.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, there we go. No, that's that right? I feel like this is
that's very good.
Okay. Remove.bg, a sponsor of this stream.
Yes, thank you for your support. Remove.bg. Oh, also, Yarrow Flower and anybody else who is new here, you're about to see what we're fucking talking about with these polls when we go to the dollhouse in a second. So
Oh yeah, I should be there. There's the
enjoy. Yeah, welcome to the dollhouse.
I'll never forget Vineet us opening on the dollhouse when we
When we had the call with Vineet. Yeah, before we even went live, we just opened up onto this, and he was like, "What is
Sorry?
happening?" Oh, we should do that to every guest. It's just a vibe check.
Uh
Wrong.
convert. This process is hilarious because I have to convert from WebP to a different file format so that I can get the there we go. Make sure that's in the right folder. Now,
Yes, that's Baby Gronk. Um, and that's
yes.
also Hoopify. Oh, there she is. Ooh.
Oh, that's a really good Xena. There's no
Oh my
room for
God,
her.
she's
There she
perfect.
goes. Yeah.
Yes, she can stand. She's ready to stand. She's ready for battle. And the
Um
swag with the little leg kicked out.
mhm. Her
Very
little
good.
Xena and
Little
Link are
tuck.
gonna duel. Fuck yeah. Arg!
Oh shit. Smash those dolls together. Ah.
Okay, if anybody can figure out a way for OBS to be multiplayer, so Devin can also move these around.
Smash. Yes, I don't know what the winning conditions are, but yes.
Oh, actually, we could do that. We just have to. We could just. You could run OBS, and then we could screen share that, and then you could play with them.
Oh my god. Yes.
Err.
They're guarding the tea table. V Bunny has said, "You can't sit with us."
I do think it might be time to get rid of some people, though.
Should we have a poll?
No, I think we should just. I think we're gonna kill. I think I'm gonna just kill, because I came in here with people, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want it to be empty. So
Right.
I think we should kill off the people that we're here to start with, which
Oh
is
my god.
Garnet, Steven Universe, Sonic, and Old
And
Snake.
old snake. Oh my god. Salute.
I think we need to kill these
In the
friends,
chat.
and they need to go through the they need to if you know, if they get good, they can come back. But I think these friends need to go.
F in the chat. Pay respects.
So
Okay, now there's
we got a lot of empty stuff here.
yeah, now we have a seat for Agnes if she needs it.
Yeah. Did you have a picture?
Um
I thought you
there's
said you.
so many good ones. Let's pull it up. Let's just look and see
Okay.
how we feel. Cuz I also want your judgment on what'll be easier to remove the background from. She wears a lot of kooky outfits and sits very autistically, so there's a lot of good photos. Yeah.
Bring this back.
Like, ooh.
Ooh, this one isn't perfect, but
Oh,
that
that's
one's
her with
pretty.
her student husband.
That that's full. Oh, this one would from just to like.
Production standpoint would work. Yeah, that would work.
If we could get a good one of her sitting, we can put her in a chair. Or just
Yeah,
bring the chair with.
true. Yeah, that would be good. I mean, she loves to podcast. There she is in her element. Oh, that one I also really like. That would be hard to remove background, but very autistic with the headphones and the sitting.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Oh my god.
More more
we
outfits.
have we
Wait,
have
what?
all three of there's look, why is there just is this from her Twitter? There's just a bunch of these where
She just
she loves to take pictures of herself to make
in the
herself
hay.
look perfect for our show.
Wow, thank you, Agnes, and your incredibly loud outfits.
That stance is pretty good.
Yes. It's very, yeah, it's less polished. It's more fucked up and awkward, and it's in a bathroom with bad lighting. Like, that's the Agnes we love.
Okay.
She's unfinished.
That's what we're doing. Um Oh my god, I have so many fucking tabs open.
Yes.
Uh where did my
Are those they leggings? I think they say hey. Because I
I
don't
think
know. She might have some philosophical problem with they for all we know.
Oh my god, really? That'd be pretty
I don't
funny.
know. She would just be the kind of type of MF to ask, just be asking questions. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Is it ethical to be a thembo? Yeah, exactly. She would ask. Did anybody else read her article about how traveling sucks because you're in an unfamiliar environment and then you have to go back to your life?
I still part of me still wants to have her on the show.
We can. We can. We absolutely can. At any
Oh,
time, she'll say
I,
yes.
I'm afraid to.
I just don't know what to talk to her about. I mean, I don't think it would be a problem. I'm sure once we get her going, it won't stop. But I should probably read more Aristotle first, or Socrates, rather.
Oh, look at that.
Oh my god, she's huge. Giant, giant woman.
Giant, giant Agnes.
Oh
Where
my
did she go?
god.
Where did the Agnes go? I can't click on her. There's too many. Okay.
Well, I see her. She's like taking up the whole screen. That I'm
I
saying, oh
know.
my god, she's floating up. She's dead like the Wicked Witch of the East.
Oh my
Oh my
god.
god. She even matches the decor a little bit, like the teal and the orange.
We're gonna put her back here.
With Gronk. It's way more creepy now that nobody's actually having tea. You realize how fucked up it is to get invited into this? It's no longer a party that you've been invited into. You've been summoned to have a meeting, and they're all guarding you.
We need to. I think we might need a. I think it's time for a venue change, and I think we need a venue change. We need something bigger. Like we need something because the thing is, there's all this stuff in the foreground. So like, we need more room, right? So we need to just. It just needs to be like an outdoor garden party with like tables, so some people can be standing over here and some people can be sitting over here.
Yeah. Yes. They can have more natural interactions with each other then, because then they can be paired off in the background. Or
Mm-hmm.
the promenade from DS9. Artistic
Ooh.
Bum says. I mean, especially since there isn't a Star Trek character in here, I'm more amenable to it.
It'd be funnier, yeah.
Yes.
Um. Oh
Animals
shit!
outdoor garden
If
party.
you're interested at some point, Tamagotchi Life is a pretty fun dollhouse game. Oh my god, yes. I have
Oh.
never played it, but I watched a little tiny bit of a Let's Play, and I love that idea. Oh my god. Okay, yes. This is what we need to do. So we need to, because we're working on this dollhouse system, right? Where all the people are either voted in or put in like by us or guests, right? And then we
Mhm.
need to and we need to put them in a little party. But then we need to take something like either Tamagotchi Life would be good, or a fucking wrestling game, because then we could make all of these
Yes.
people and have them fucking fight or something.
Yeah.
That's the season finale of the Dollhouse, right? Is
Yeah, is
we
when they brawl.
yeah, we import them into a fucking video game.
Old doll brawl. Slippery Loop said, put them in dumpster's crate.
Oh my god, you could print them out.
Yes.
Would he would he eat them?
He would eat them in an instant. He loves paper. And he loves cardboard. So
That's
I
the
could make.
that's the winners. The winners get eaten by
And we could
dump
stream
truck.
that. We could
Yes.
stream me putting it into his cage and seeing him interact. He even. Oh my god. Right now he has a giant box inside of his cage. So that could be the room. That could be the tea house. So I could set them up in there.
Oh my god. You know what we could even do is,
Diorama.
if we get a webcam that's just set up for his cage, then the backdrop could just be his cage, and we could put them all in here as images and have them play, and then whoever wins gets actually transported into the real dump truck world and gets eaten by dump truck.
They're all like vying for the honor of a ritualistic sacrifice
Oh.
to dump truck. Stacy says, I volunteer to make them. Thank you, because
Oh.
you know you'll do a better job than me with the Cricut machine.
I'm afraid you do too good of a job, Stacy. We need shitty we need shitty printer paper
Yes, because
cutouts.
dump truck's gonna destroy them, so don't spend too much time on them.
Yeah, it's the winner who he
Uh,
eats first or who he refuses to eat.
he's not
Um,
gonna refuse to eat anyone. This boy is a fiend.
no, so, there's a joke, something about no loads refused. No, dolls refused.
Well, you know what? My boy has learned to self-suck. So I think at 7 and a half, he is of age in chinchilla years.
Um,
No loads refused.
somebody did say, "Can baby Gronk have a?" Yeah, he's got the.
Yes,
He's so small.
he is a baby. He is a baby. So now he's
Sort of. That sort of looks right.
his posture is just so he's just so relaxed. It's unnatural.
And his collar was
She's
weird.
creeping up. She's really far away and small. She's scarier when she's smaller.
She's recording. She's got her phone
Yes.
out, fucking recording this.
She's like a Chris Fleming character. Like everything about her, from her look to her weird life, is Chris Fleming character.
Oh my
man.
god. I do think we're going to have to, before we do anything more serious with this, we're going to have to get rid of Baby Gronk as being underage. I don't think Baby Gronk is really going to be able to party in the things we're going to want to do to these characters.
I think he can get eaten by a dump truck. I think that's fine. I think he
Yeah.
can fight. You know, he's already trying to play adult football, so I think, he can brawl on the field. But certain things, yes, for sure. Will be not gronkable.
Uncrockable. Oh my god. Okay.
Oh, all right. I have to go to this doctor's appointment.
Yeah, that's true. We can't we can't
So,
dally. Thank you so much everybody for hanging out.
this was so good.
Is it the second? When
What's
does
that?
it
Right
when
today?
Oh yeah, when does it start? Do you need to like leave, cuz I can
Oh, it's at 4:30 and it's 3
Okay.
right now. So I'm just like a buffer for travel. I
Okay.
still got I got a couple minutes, but just winding
All right.
it down.
Yeah, let's find somebody do we do we actually raid Hassan? I think this is
Oh
the
my
one we
god.
actually raid. I think we have to, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna impose that. I'm sorry to all the autistics. This man talks loud and he's rude. He just he mostly sucks. I don't know, but so enjoy.
He needs the views.
He
Is
needs
the
the
real
views.
thing
He only has 28,000 right now
watching right
watching
now?
him.
Yep.
Yeah, my God.
Does he shout out raids? Do you know?
Not no. I feel like all he does is yell at people in the comments who say something he doesn't like. I think that seems to be the only engagement I've ever seen, like at all.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out. This was a very weird and fun one. So,
Yeah, this was good. Thank you for turning up, even though we had like no plan or preparation.